Chapter 738. Wei Ting's mental state today seemed to be much better than yesterday. He didn't know what old Master Li said to him yesterday, but when he looked at Su Chenghui again, his gaze was a little smug. Please make way. He held a large bouquet of roses in one hand and a large bag in the other. Su Chenghui recognized the logo on the bag. It was a very famous hotel in Lin City, and it had a special breakfast. He stood there, not intending to give in to Wei Ting. President Wei, Qianxue just woke up. It's not convenient. What's not convenient? Wei Ting didn't know what politeness was. Qianxue just woke up, so she's hungry. Did you see that? I brought breakfast for her. He shook the box in his hand and moved closer to Su Chenghui. But don't worry, there's nothing for you. He said this very softly. Seeing the slight change in Su Chenghui's expression, he directly squeezed past his body and went into the ward. It wasn't that Su Chenghui couldn't stop him, but Li Qianxue had already heard the sound of him entering the door. Qianxue, how are you? When Wei Ting saw that Li Qianxue had already woken up, the smile on his face became even brighter. Wei Ting. When Li Qianxue saw him, her expression was a little strange. She thought that old Master Li had convinced him when he brought Wei Ting home yesterday. What was Dad doing? I brought you breakfast. Wei Ting looked at Li Qianxue and smiled gently. Try it. I specially queued up to buy it. It's all very exquisite breakfast. Li Qianxue didn't reply, and Wei Ting moved quickly. He first put the flowers aside. Then he laid out the breakfast. There was a small table on the hospital bed, and the breakfast was placed all over the table. The portion wasn't much, but each portion seemed to taste pretty good. Come try it. It's still warm. I specially asked the waiter to bring 2 layers of insulation boxes. Li Qianxue looked at the chopsticks in his hand and didn't know what kind of expression to put on for a moment. Su Chenghui stood not far behind Wei Ting and stared at the man coldly. When Wei Ting handed the chopsticks to Li Qianxue, his eyes flashed. He took a few steps forward and took the chopsticks in his hand. Wei Ting turned to look at him. Su Chenghui's expression did not change. He looked at Li Qianxue gently. Qianxue, Yusin will bring breakfast soon. Nanny Zhang's cooking is hygienic and nutritious. As for these, I don't know where they got them from, so you don't have to eat them. Su Chenghui, what do you mean? Wei Ting was young after all. Because of Su Chenghui's actions, he was a little impatient. Can't you see clearly? Look carefully, this is Jean Meishuan's breakfast. Really? Su Chenghui looked at his exasperated face, and his expression became more certain than before. Then I'll have to try it. President Wei. Su Chenghui raised his eyebrows and looked at him. You don't mind, do you? Of course, mind. Wei Ting was interrupted by Su Chenghui. Of course you don't mind. I know. Then I'll thank you in advance for breakfast. Qianxue. Su Chenghui looked at Li Qianxue. This breakfast is a little greasy. Don't eat it. Greasy? Wei Ting was furious. How is it oily? How is it greasy? He was still talking, but Su Chenghui had already started eating. His movements were so fast that he didn't have time to stop him. Li Qianxue sat there and watched the 2 men's childish behavior. She didn't want to speak anymore. President Su? Wei Ting gritted his teeth. Now, he really felt that the back of his teeth was hurting. You don't have to eat so fast, do you? Of course I have to eat faster. Even though Su Chenghui's eating movements were very fast, it couldn't hide his elegance at this moment. His steadiness, which had been immersed in the business world for many years, overwhelmed Wei Ting in terms of aura. After all, Yusin will bring breakfast over later. I still have to take care of Qianxue's meal. It's okay. I'm also very happy to take care of Qianxue. It's useless if you're happy, because Qianxue isn't. Su Chenghui slowly picked up a crystal dumpling and put it into his mouth. Wei Ting glared at him and then at him again. When he turned to look at Li Qianxue, he couldn't help but look a little aggrieved. Qianxue, you don't mind, right? Li Qianxue frowned. Let Wei Ting take care of her? Wei Ting, today doesn't seem to be the weekend? Was this in order to chase him away? Wei Ting's expression became more and more depressed. It doesn't matter to me. Qianxue, it doesn't matter if I don't go to work. I like to accompany you. I don't need your company. Li Qianxue rejected him very clearly. You should go to work. If you don't want me to accompany you, do you want him to accompany you? Wei Ting pointed at Su Qinghui. Other than the aggrieved expression on his face, there was also a hint of shock and disbelief. Wei Ting. Unfortunately, Li Qianxue didn't like his tone. This doesn't seem to have anything to do with you? Of course it does. Wei Ting looked at the people who had dealt with most of the breakfast he brought and felt depressed. How can he be worthy of you? Look at him, President Wei. Su Qinghui put down the chopsticks in his hand and slowly took out a tissue from the side to wipe the corner of his mouth. Whether I'm worthy or not, it doesn't seem to be up to you to decide. He looked at Li Qianxue with a burning gaze. Qianxue has the final say. Su Qinghui couldn't be blamed for being so sure. He and Li Qianxue had been husband and wife for many years. Even if they divorced, even if they broke up. With Li Qianxue's personality, she wouldn't do anything to ruin his reputation outside. Li Qianxue definitely wouldn't say something that belittled him like this. Qianxue. Wei Ting looked at Li Qianxue, waiting for her to stand up for him. You don't really think so, do you? How could a person like Su Qinghui be worthy of Li Qianxue? What kind of joke was this? Wei Ting. Li Qianxue really had a headache when she saw this. She wasn't in the mood to continue arguing with Wei Ting. Go to work. We really don't need you here. Qianxue? Wei Ting's eyes widened. He couldn't believe that Li Qianxue would rather choose Su Qinghui than him. He was still in disbelief when Su Yusen arrived on the other side. He saw Wei Ting the moment he entered the door. Naturally, he knew this man. He was a tech upstart in Lin City. It was said that he was pursuing his mother. Su Yusen's feelings were a little complicated. On one hand, he was naturally happy that Li Qianxue still had such charm at her age. On the other hand, he felt a little uncomfortable. His mother was being pursued by a man so many years younger than her? Regardless of whether it would work out or not, he only hoped that Li Qianxue wouldn't get hurt. I brought you soup. In fact, the hospital had nutritious meals, but Su Qinghui insisted that the nutritious meals in the hospital were not delicious. Even old Master Li felt the same way. It was really because the Li Corporation had shares in this hospital. How could ordinary patients have such treatment? Su Yusen walked forward and saw the breakfast that looked like it had been eaten on the table beside the hospital bed. Mom, it's nothing. Su Qinghui wouldn't let Wei Ting leave a good impression in front of his son. President Wei is my friend. He saw that I was working hard to take care of your mother, so he brought me breakfast. Wei Ting stared at Su Qinghui and felt that he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. What did Su Qinghui mean? Who brought it to him? Thank you, Mr. Wei. Su Yusen put down the lunchbox very politely. Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Wei. Is there anything else? Wei Ting's face turned green. He didn't expect that in such a short period of time, he would be asked to leave by Li Qianxue and Su Yusen. This feeling was really fresh, very fresh. He couldn't help but look at Li Qianxue again. Qianxue, did you see that? Your ex-husband bullied me, and your son also bullied me? Everyone bullied me. Wei Ting, you can go back first. There's Yusen and the nurse here. I'm fine. Qianxue. I want to take care of you. I really don't need you to take care of me. The nurse of this hospital and Yusen are all here. Wei Ting couldn't argue with her. In the end, no matter how reluctant he was, he still left the ward. After he left, Su Qinghui was happy, and Li Qianxue was more or less at ease. She chose Su Qinghui between Su Qinghui and Wei Ting. It didn't mean that she forgave Su Qinghui. But in such a situation, she was more willing to leave behind someone who made her feel controllable and didn't make her feel so uncomfortable. Just like yesterday, Su Yusen scooped soup for Li Qianxue and was about to feed her. The bowl was taken away by Su Qinghui again. Let me do it. Go and ask the nurse to take away the food on this table. How could Su Yusen not know what Su Qinghui wanted to do? He glanced at him and directly went to clean it up himself. Now, he only hoped that since he was so tactful and quick, Su Qinghui would quickly settle Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui didn't say anything. Although she cooperated with Su Qinghui and opened her mouth, she remained silent and didn't speak. Su Qinghui liked to take care of Li Qianxue. Even the smallest things would make him feel happy and satisfied. It didn't matter whether Li Qianxue accepted him or not, but he had to do these things. He had to let Li Qianxue feel his heart for her. After breakfast, Su Yusen went straight to the Li Corporation. The Li Corporation didn't have so many things for him to do. The decisions were arranged by Li Qianxue. However, Su Yusen obviously didn't want to be a third wheel between his parents, so he could only leave. After his son left, Su Qinghui felt even more at ease. Qianxue, do you want to eat some fruit? Qianxue, is it comfortable to sleep like this? Do you want me to help you adjust the pillow a little higher? Qianxue, do you want to watch TV? I'll turn on the TV for you to watch. Qianxue, the latest issue of Second Finance and Economics is here. Do you want me to read it to you? Qianxue? The repeated calls of Qianxue gave Li Qianxue a headache. She looked at Su Qinghui, but there wasn't much joy or emotion in her eyes. You're very noisy. I just want to have a quiet rest. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue's cold expression and couldn't say anything else for a moment. Qianxue, then you rest. Li Qianxue's world finally became quiet, but this wasn't enough. Because Su Qinghui was sitting by the bed and staring at her with a burning gaze. That feeling was like a knife on her back. Even if she closed her eyes, she still couldn't hide it. She gritted her teeth and couldn't take it anymore. She opened her eyes and glared at Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui, that's enough, right? Can you stop staring at me? Su Qinghui had no idea how he had offended her to cause her to react so strongly. Qianxue? Do you have nothing to do? If you have nothing to do, please go out. I don't want to see you. Qianxue, I know. I just want to accompany me, right? Li Qianxue's tone was a little cold. But I'm sorry, I don't need anyone to accompany me now. Qianxue? Are you leaving or not? If you don't leave, I'll leave. It was just a transfer. She had the ability to do so. Su Qinghui didn't say anything else. He didn't feel at ease leaving just like that. After thinking for a while, he stood up. Since you want to rest, you can rest. I'll go get you a pot of water. Li Qianxue turned her face to the side. But water? He was just looking for an excuse to stay. After 2 days, she didn't chase him away. Perhaps it gave him some illusions. Li Qianxue didn't like such illusions. She watched Su Qinghui go out with the hot water bottle and knew that he would come back later. For a moment, she was a little annoyed. However, no matter how hard Su Qinghui tried, it was useless. As long as she was firm, Su Qinghui wouldn't be able to shake her. In the following time, Li Qianxue tried her best to ignore Su Qinghui. She tried her best to keep a distance from him. It was a subtle yet distant feeling, a sense of alienation. She didn't say anything to provoke Su Qinghui. When a person reached a certain stage, these words were no longer useful. Yesterday, she said so harshly, but Su Qinghui didn't think of leaving. It could be seen that he was either thick-skinned, or he really wanted to be with her. No matter which one it was, Li Qianxue hated and disliked it. There was a voice deep in her heart telling her that that feeling wasn't pure hatred and dislike. It was that she was afraid that things would become like before. However, she suppressed this voice. She also thought about her uncontrollable heartbeat when Su Qinghui wiped her body last night. She thought about the trace of palpitation she felt in the depths of her heart ever since Su Qinghui hugged her. Li Qianxue didn't like these abnormal reactions. She was a very calm person. Perhaps, before Su Qinghui went further, she could do something. She should think of a chance to completely drive Su Qinghui out of her life. As for those minor losses of control, she would ignore them all. That's right, it was just a momentary loss of control. The door of the ward opened and closed. After a while, it opened again. She thought that it was Su Qinghui who had returned and was thinking about how to explain it to him. However, she saw that the person who came in wasn't Su Qinghui at all, but Luo Cheng. President Luo? Seeing Luo Cheng, Li Qianxue's sleepiness disappeared. She didn't quite understand why Luo Cheng was here. Qianxue, I heard that you had a car accident. I'm really sorry. I just received the news last night, so I only had time to see you today. Luo Qing smiled very warmly. He was also carrying a large pile of nutrition products in his hand. Chapter 739. The ward was a VIP ward, and it was very big. Apart from the big room, there was another small room. There was a bathroom and a kitchen nearby. Just now, in order to get Su Qinghui out of her sight, Li Qianxue didn't even leave a nurse behind. Now, only she and Luo Cheng were left in the huge ward. Luo Cheng carried the things in his hands and slowly walked in the direction of the bed. Suli, I'm sorry. They're all worthless toys, but they're still good for your body. If you're injured, you can slowly nourish yourself. We'll need it eventually. President Luo, you're too kind. Li Qianshue's voice was a little more polite than before. Thank you for making the trip. President Li, you don't have to be so polite. Luo Qing smiled more affectionately than before. Li Qianxue frowned at his natural and familiar attitude. She was now sitting on the bed. She was sitting and he was standing. Especially now that she was injured, her complexion was not good. His aura was always a little lacking. Boss Luo, you're too polite. She, who couldn't move her hands and feet, hoped that someone would appear quickly. She had been in the business world for a long time, so how could she not understand that Luo Cheng had other intentions? No one knew what he was after. It's only right that I come to see you. We don't have to be so polite. As Luo Cheng spoke, he walked towards the bed. He casually placed the things in his hands on the bedside and was about to sit down by the bed. Li Qianxue looked out of the ward. She remembered that she had driven Su Qinghui away before. Now, she hoped that he would come back soon. On the other side, Su Qinghui went to get some water and was about to rush to the ward. In the end, when he turned the corner, he accidentally bumped into a person. That person almost bumped into him. In order not to let the hot water bottle fall to the ground and break, and also in order not to get the water on the other party's body, Su Qinghui took 2 big steps back, and the man kept apologizing. I'm sorry. The crisp female voice was filled with guilt and self-blame. Su Qinghui looked at the person in front of him. It was a young girl in her early 20s. She looked well-dressed. I'm sorry, sir. Did I step on you just now? The little girl had a guilty look on her face. Su Qinghui looked at the little girl who was about the same age as his daughter and shook his head. I'm fine. The other party had stepped on him, but that kind of force didn't affect him much. I'm really sorry. The girl lowered her head and saw the footprint on Su Qinghui's shoe. Su Qinghui's shoes were all custom-made in Italy. There was a shoe print on the smooth shoes, which made people feel bad. Do you want to take off your shoes and let me clean them for you? There's really no need. Seeing the panic and guilt in the little girl's eyes, Su Qinghui didn't plan to pursue the matter further. Luo Cheng suddenly spoke, but he didn't call out to President Li politely. I was really worried when I found out that you were injured. Only then did I realize that my attention to you was far from that of an ordinary friend. Qianxue, can I call you by your name? He had already called her that, and now he was asking this question? Li Qianxue didn't respond to his words. President Luo, the investment case you mentioned last time, the investment case isn't important. What's important is my feelings for you. Luo Cheng raised his hand forward and looked at Li Qianxue. Qianxue, I don't care about that investment case. What I care about is you. President Luo, you might have misunderstood. I didn't misunderstand. Luo Cheng couldn't wait to express his feelings. My feelings for you come from the bottom of my heart. Please believe me. As he spoke, he even reached out to hold Li Qianshue's hand. Li Qianxue didn't expect him to suddenly move. One of her hands was already in a cast, and now that the other hand was held by him, she felt very uncomfortable. She tried to pull her hand back, but Luo Cheng held her hand in his palm. Qianxue, give me a chance to take care of you. I will prove that I am a qualified husband. President Luo. Li Qianxue didn't expect this man to be so strong. Unfortunately, her other hand was injured. She couldn't even pull it out forcefully. Annoyed, he was thinking of using his hand that was in a cast to hit Luo Cheng without a care. Before she could take action, Luo Cheng's body had already been pulled up and pushed to the side. Li Qianxue looked at Su Qinghui, who had suddenly appeared. He stood there, half of his body in front of her bed, and his hands were clenched into fists by his side. President Luo. He looked at Luo Cheng coldly, his eyes sharp and cold. You've crossed the line. Luo Cheng didn't expect Su Qinghui to suddenly appear. He had clearly asked someone to hold him back. President Su, it doesn't seem appropriate for you to say that, does it? Luo Cheng looked at Su Qinghui with the posture of a protector. Qianxue has already divorced you. Then, she has the right to be with other men, don't you think? She does have that right. But she also has the right to refuse. Su Qinghui's expression didn't change. From the looks of it, I don't see Qianxue having any plans to accept you. Or, President Luo, do you think that having physical contact with others without their consent is a sign of respect for women? Is that disrespecting women? Luo Cheng looked a little embarrassed. I just couldn't help it. President Luo said that you couldn't help it, but I think it's better for you to restrain yourself next time. After all, Qianxue isn't a casual woman. She can't help it if she wants to cooperate with President Luo. Luo Cheng's face alternated between green and white from Su Qinghui's words. He knew that he had been reckless today. Now that the opportunity had failed, he could only find another opportunity. President Su, you're thinking too much. I respect Qianxue quite a lot. He looked at Li Qianxue, and his expression was much softer than before. Qianxue, don't think too much. I really didn't mean anything else just now. Li Qianxue didn't say anything. Her background was there, and she couldn't put on an even uglier expression. She just had a cold expression. If Su Qinghui hadn't come in time, she had no doubt that she would have broken Luo Cheng's head with a cast. Now that things had developed to this point, Luo Cheng couldn't continue to stay. After saying a few more soft words, he left. Li Qianxue didn't relax just because Luo Cheng had left. Her expression was very ugly. She hated being touched by someone she didn't like. The place where Luo Cheng held her hand almost made her want to chop off that hand. However, before she could react, Su Qinghui had already entered the bathroom first. When he came out again, there was a basin of water in his hand. He picked up the towel inside and walked in front of her. He picked up her hand and started to wipe it. Su Qinghui's movements weren't as gentle as yesterday, and he used more force. He lowered his face, and his half-closed eyes were gentle and calm. Li Qianxue looked at his movements, and an electric current flowed through her heart. It was a momentary heartbeat. She could clearly feel that the man in front of her reminded her of the first time she saw him more than 20 years ago, and that her heart had been moved. Luo Cheng left the hospital gate and was in the parking lot outside. A figure was waiting there. When he saw the person, his expression didn't look good. Didn't I ask you to lure Su Qinghui away? Why did you let him return to the ward so quickly? Speaking of which, Luo Cheng was really thinking too much. Even without Su Qinghui, with Li Qianxue's personality, she wouldn't let him take advantage of her. It didn't make sense to blame him now. Jing Shu looked at the accusation in Luo Cheng's eyes and chuckled. Uncle, don't be anxious. What's the matter? Take your time. She smiled brightly. If Su Qinghui was here, he would realize that she was the little girl who wanted to clean his shoes just now. What do you mean? Luo Cheng was unhappy after being humiliated by Su Qinghui today. Uncle. Jing Shu was about the same age as Luo Cheng's daughter, Luo Yu. She had been studying in another city. She had recently graduated, and her mother and Luo Cheng could be considered cousins. He asked her to come to Lin City to look for Luo Cheng and ask him to arrange something for her to do. Unexpectedly, after Jing Shu came to Lin City, Luo Cheng unexpectedly found that his niece looked somewhat similar to Su Qinghui's former daughter, Su Peijian. This was really a pleasant surprise. He wanted to pursue Li Qianxue, and Su Qinghui was a stumbling block. If he could let Jing Shu use her appearance to distract Su Qinghui, then he would be able to make his presence known in front of Li Qianxue. I think that instead of thinking of a way to make Su Qinghui unable to hinder you, it's better to solve this problem completely. We might as well solve this problem once and for all. What do you think? What do you mean? Uncle. Jing Shu gestured with her hands and gestured to herself. What do you think of me? Luo Cheng looked at Jing Shu and didn't understand what he wanted to do. Jing Shu wasn't bad-looking. Her eyebrows and eyes were somewhat similar to Su Peixian's, so she was naturally bright and pretty. The most important thing was that she was young and energetic. Jing Shu, your mother asked you to come to Lin City so that I could take care of you. I never thought. Although he had a purpose, he wouldn't send his niece to Su Qinghui's side. Even if this niece was his cousin. Uncle, I think you can think about it now. Jing Shu thought of the gentleness and elegance on Su Qinghui's face when he smiled just now, and her heart skipped a beat. Jing Shu, about your mother? Uncle, you don't have to worry about my mother. I just want to tell you that I've taken a fancy to Su Qinghui. Are you crazy? Luo Qing glared at the little girl in front of him. Do you know how old he is? He can be your father. So what? Jing Shu blinked and was very confident in herself. I just like him. Can't I? Jing Shu, Uncle, if I can take down Su Qinghui, won't that solve your problem? Luo Qing didn't say anything. His plan didn't include this. He just wanted Su Qinghui to be unable to disturb him. Don't be too old-fashioned. In this society, what kind of love doesn't exist? Su Qinghui isn't young. But such a man is mature and charming. I like this kind of man. Don't try to persuade me. Really wait for me to take down Su Qinghui. It'll be good for you too. Isn't that so? Luo Qing couldn't refute that. In fact, he was the one who asked Jing Shu to trip Su Qinghui. Speaking of which, if it weren't for him, Jing Shu wouldn't have fallen for Su Qinghui. Let's go. Uncle, I also need to think about how to take down that old man. Jing Shu's eyes flashed with determination. Luo Qing wanted to persuade her, but he thought that if Su Qinghui was really taken down by Jing Shu, the success rate of him pursuing Li Qianxue would be completely different. All right. I won't persuade you anymore. But as for your mother, you can talk to her yourself when the time comes. Got it. Also, that Su Qinghui is already a grandfather. You, don't be too serious. If you really can't do it, then forget it. Don't worry. Jing Shu raised her hand and looked at it. I will definitely take him down. Chapter 740. Su Qinghui didn't know that he was being targeted. He wiped the water off Li Qianxue's hands. Qianxue, I won't let you go alone next time. Although Luo Qing might not dare to do anything, Su Qinghui was still worried. If you want to fetch water or anything else tomorrow, let Xiao Jiang go. I'll accompany you. No need. Li Qianxue wasn't a weak person who needed protection. I can take care of it myself. Su Qinghui knew that she wouldn't listen to him, and he also knew that she was used to rejecting him. He didn't intend to convince her, but he had already made up his mind. In the future, he would definitely not let Li Qianxue go alone. Are you thirsty? Do you want some water? Li Qianxue shook her head and looked at the gentleness in Su Qinghui's eyes. She thought of the moment when she was moved. In the end, she couldn't say those ruthless words. She didn't say it, but Su Qinghui always wanted to take care of her. He got up and washed some fruit for her and cut it. He used a small toothpick to fork the fruit piece by piece and brought it to the bed. Qianxue, eat the fruit. Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue wanted to say that what he did was useless. She wouldn't be soft-hearted, nor would she appreciate it. But when the sweet fruit was placed in his mouth and he looked at her with a gentle expression, she couldn't say a single word after that. Li Qianxue silently ate the fruit that Su Qinghui fed her. She didn't even notice that she still had one hand that could move freely, but she didn't move it again. Su Qinghui was quite satisfied with such a change. It didn't matter. He could take it slow. Until Li Qianxue wanted to go to the bathroom and asked him to call Xiao Jiang in. What's wrong? Tell me what you want to take. I'll help you. Li Qianxue glared at Su Qinghui's face and gritted her teeth. I want to go to the bathroom. I'll carry you. No need. She could do it herself. Li Qianxue rejected his hand. Call Xiao Jiang in for me. Qianxue. Su Qinghui looked at the rejection in her eyes. Ignoring her rejection, he reached out and picked her up. Su Qinghui, don't worry, I'm just carrying you in. Su Qinghui worked out all year round. Although he wasn't young anymore, he was still quite strong. Li Qianxue was not heavy, so he easily picked her up and headed for the bathroom. The moment he put Li Qianxue down, she stood firmly on one foot. However, she found it a little difficult. Then, she lost her balance and fell into Su Qinghui's arms. She put a hand on Su Qinghui's chest. "Get out." Su Qinghui looked at her reluctant face and reached out to take off her pants. "You, be good, it's inconvenient for you to use one hand." "I can." As if to prove her words, she swatted his hand away and reached for her hospital pants with one hand. However, she had underestimated the severity of her injury. Before she could pull down her pants, her bandaged feet could no longer stand. Her body tilted and she fell into Su Qinghui's arms again. This time, Su Qinghui didn't let go of her, nor did he let her push him away. Su Qingsang rushed over. When she entered the ward, she found that the environment of the ward was a little strange. Li Qianxue half leaned on the hospital bed, her face a little red. Su Qinghui was sitting by the bed, looking at Li Qianxue. "Mom? Qingsang? Qingsang, you're here?" Both of them were surprised to see Su Qingsang. Especially Li Qianxue. "Didn't I tell you not to come? It's so far away, and now the weather is starting to get hot again. How are you? Are you tired? Why don't you go home and rest first?" "Mom." She asked a series of questions, and Su Qingsang didn't know which one to answer first. "I'm not very tired. I wanted to come yesterday, but I arranged the things at hand." As she spoke, Li Qianxue looked behind her. "Where's Hu Jinyao?" "He has something to do at the company. He'll come later." "Mom, are you okay?" Only then did Su Qingsang have time to observe Li Qianxue's body. When she saw the cast on Li Qianxue's hand, she stepped forward with concern. "Why is your injury so serious? Is your hand okay?" "It's fine." Li Qianxue shook her head. Su Qingsang didn't know. She looked at Li Qianxue and immediately realized that something was wrong. "Mom, why is your face so red? Do you have a fever?" After trauma, it was easy to get infected and have a fever. These were all things to pay attention to. As a doctor, how could Su Qingsang not know this? She suddenly became nervous. "Mom, did the doctor make his ward rounds today? Did he ask the doctor to check you?" "Yes, he did." Li Qianxue was too embarrassed to tell her daughter why she was blushing. Should she say that it was because Su Qinghui insisted on taking off her pants? And then, she couldn't say it, and her face was full of uneasiness. Su Qingsang was even more worried now. She raised her hand and placed it on Li Qianxue's forehead. "It's not hot. But you can't let your guard down. I'd better ask the doctor to check you." When she said this, she was about to go outside. Li Qianxue quickly grabbed her hand. "Mom, I'm really fine. It's just a little hot. Don't run around. Sit down and talk to Mom." "Oh." Su Qingsang nodded and looked at Su Qinghui. He knew very well what Su Qinghui had done just now. He also knew why Li Qianxue's face was red. Now that his daughter was here, he also knew that they had something to talk about. "Since Qingsang is here, let her talk to you. He just happened to go to the company to deal with work." "Where did you go?" Su Qingsang watched Su Qinghui leave and immediately sat down by the bed. "Mom, has Dad been taking care of you here these past few days?" The red on Li Qianxue's face because of anger hadn't faded. She nodded at her daughter's words. "It's all because of him." "Mom, I'm nothing." Li Qianxue interrupted her daughter. She didn't intend to talk to her about Su Qinghui. You, on the other hand, ran out like this. "Think about what to do with Nian Nian, my mother-in-law, and Grandpa and the others. Don't worry. Don't worry." Li Qianxue glared at her daughter. "Why didn't you bring them to see me? I came in a hurry and didn't have time to prepare. If you want to see them, I'll ask Hu Jinyao to bring them here tomorrow." "Forget it. I was just saying it casually. Don't torture the two children." Li Qianxue was reluctant. "I just think you're heartless. The children are so young." "How am I heartless?" "Mom, you're already injured like this. If I don't come to see you, I'm really heartless." Su Qingsang's words made Li Qianxue smile. The uneasiness that she had felt because of Su Chenghui just now had mostly dissipated. Looking at her daughter who was getting closer and closer to her, she also relaxed. As for the previous episode, she tried her best to throw it to the back of her mind. Su Chenghui, that rascal, thought she would compromise just like that? Dream on. She wouldn't. Definitely not. Ignoring the throbbing in her heart, Li Qianxue forced herself to pretend that nothing had happened. Li Qianxue's hand was the most seriously injured. The injury on her foot only needed to slowly recuperate. After staying in the intensive care unit for 2 days, Xiao Zhao was also out of danger. Su Qingsang's return made Li Qianxue much happier. After getting the doctor's permission, she went home to recuperate. After all, it was much more convenient at home. She could also use this time to get rid of Su Chenghui. She lived at home. There was Nanny Zhang, Xiao Tao, and Xiao Yu at home. It was not Su Chenghui's turn to court her. Therefore, a day after Su Qingsang came, Li Qianxue went back to the Li family to recuperate. Su Chenghui knew that she was deliberately avoiding him, but he was not in a hurry. It was not like he couldn't enter the Li family. Not to mention that his son and daughter were at home now. They would not stop him from entering the house. Therefore, when Li Qianxue was pushed to the table in a wheelchair for dinner that night, she saw Su Chenghui again. This made her expression sour. She wanted to drive him away, but her son and daughter were both there today. Old Master Li's smile widened because of Su Qingsang's arrival. Under such circumstances, Li Qianxue could only endure it. She forced herself to pretend that she did not see Su Chenghui sitting directly next to her just now and focused on eating. At the dining table, Su Qingsang still wanted to take care of Li Qianxue and put some food in her bowl or something. Someone moved faster than she did. Su Chenghui scooped a bowl of soup for Li Qianxue. He did not eat himself, but directly fed Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue met the eyes of the table and felt very uncomfortable for a moment. "I have hands." "Your hands are injured." Su Chenghui was very stubborn. The spoon in his hand was raised to Li Qianxue's mouth. His daughter and son were both staring at her, and old Master Li was still sitting next to her. Li Qianxue refused to cooperate. "Su Chenghui, I can do it myself." "Yes, I know." Su Chenghui's expression did not change, as if he did not feel the slightest bit uncomfortable being stared at by others. "But this will be faster. Be good." His voice was very soft, so only they could hear each other. "You are injured. Let me feed you." Li Qianxue resisted the urge to swing the bowl in his hand away. Looking at her son and daughter's gazes, she had a hard time holding back. She lowered her voice and stared at the gentle face in front of her. She felt as if she had used all her strength but hit cotton. "Su Chenghui, I am not a child. But you are an injured patient." Su Chenghui moved the spoon forward a little more. Could it be that he was addicted to feeding her? Li Qianxue secretly gritted her teeth. When she was caught off guard, he had already fed her a spoonful of soup. Su Qingsang suddenly realized that she seemed to have seen something amazing. She couldn't help but look at Su Yusin. Su Yusin, however, looked calm. Yes, he had seen it in the hospital before, so he was not surprised. Old Master Li looked at Su Chenghui's actions, and a shrewd look flashed in his eyes. Fortunately, Su Chenghui knew when to stop. After feeding Li Qianxue, he chatted with Old Master Li in the living room for a while, then got up and left. Although he wanted to stay, he also knew the logic of taking things slowly. He would not force Li Qianxue to make a decision now. There was still a long way to go, and he was not in a hurry. "Qianxue, have a good rest. I will leave first. I will see you tomorrow." Li Qianxue did not raise her head and spoke without thinking. For a moment, she was really looking forward to seeing if Li Qianxue could really kick Su Chenghui out the next day. Su Chenghui had come early. He didn't come empty-handed. She imitated Wei Ting and brought a large bouquet of roses. Old Master Li was usually the one who got up the earliest in the Li family. Seeing the flower in Su Chenghui's hand, his wrinkled face changed a little. However, it was only for a moment. The second person to wake up was Su Yusin. He didn't say that he was completely in charge of the company's affairs. No matter what, this was still his responsibility. Therefore, he woke up early every day and went to work on time. When he suddenly saw Su Chinghui holding a large bouquet of roses, he really couldn't control the expression on his face. Then it was Su Qingsang. She was also a little incredulous when she saw Su Chinghui like this. She blinked her eyes and thought about Li Qianxue, who was still upstairs. "Dad, Mom seems to have just woken up. Why don't you go upstairs and look for her?" It really wasn't that she was helping Su Chinghui. It was just that if Li Qianxue was so cold-hearted that she chased Su Chinghui out of the Li family, then as her children, they would feel a little awkward when they saw her. It was right to let Su Chinghui go upstairs. Su Chinghui looked at his daughter gratefully and went upstairs with the bouquet of roses in his arms. Li Qianshue's ankle was sprained. It really wasn't too serious. If she endured it, she could get up and take a few steps by herself. She had just washed up. Although it was inconvenient for her to use one hand, she was really not used to being served by others to do these relatively private things. Now, standing in front of the wardrobe, she looked at herself. She picked out a loose shirt and a skirt. When she was about to change, she encountered a little trouble. She only had one hand, so it was a little troublesome to put on clothes. Just as she was thinking about how to put on clothes with one hand, the door behind her opened. Li Qianxue, who had her back to the door, didn't take a closer look. At this time, it was either Su Qingsang or Xiaotao who came in. "Qingsang, come over and help me put on my clothes." She was wearing a nightgown that was very easy to take off yesterday. At this moment, she was taking off her nightgown with one hand. Her hand, which was in a cast, was carefully half-raised to make it easier to take off. When Su Chinghui entered the door, he saw such a scene. He stood there, and the roses in his hand became a little prickly for a moment. "Qingsang?" Li Qianxue took off half of her dress. She, who only had one hand, was stuck. A hand behind her helped her gently pull up her nightgown and took it off. "Thank you." Li Qianxue, who thought it was Su Qingsang, didn't think too much about it. She took the shirt and was about to continue. She was shocked when she suddenly saw Su Chinghui behind her. She was originally standing against the wardrobe, and the injury on her foot hurt at this moment. Her body lost its balance just like that. Su Chinghui quickly supported her. His hand wrapped around her and pulled her into his arms. Li Qianxue didn't have the habit of sleeping in her underwear, so her upper body was naked. Now, one hand was in a cast, and the other was holding a shirt. Su Chinghui hugged the woman in his arms and couldn't help but have a reaction. "Qianxue?" This sound was almost a whisper. Li Qianxue wanted to stand firm and get away from him, but her feet didn't work. She looked at Su Chinghui. Yesterday, she had said that she wanted to chase him out, but now she couldn't say it. "Qianxue." Su Chinghui narrowed his eyes and called out again. He stared at her like a cheetah staring at its prey. She subconsciously wanted to step back. The hand on the back of her waist tightened, and she was brought into his arms, tightly pressed against him. Without waiting for her to push Su Chinghui away, he lowered his head and kissed her lips. First, he carefully probed, then he went deep, and then it was almost like he was plundering. Forgive Li Qianxue for living for so long, but she had pitifully little experience in this area. And men would always be more perceptive than women in this area. She couldn't stand steadily, and all her strength was placed on him. For a moment, she didn't know if it was because of the pain, or because of his kiss that made her legs weak. She couldn't help it. These were the only words in Su Chinghui's mind. His slender and strong fingers gently slid across her back. The smooth touch made him a little unable to stop. He easily hugged her body tightly, and the kiss became more and more lingering. When it ended, Li Qianshue's breathing was rapid, and her whole body was weak. She couldn't stand steadily, so she let Su Chinghui hold her. He carried her to the bed. He took the clothes she had just held and carefully put them on for her. During the whole process, Li Qianxue didn't resist at all. She was a little shocked by that kiss. The feeling that her soul was about to be devoured by the other party made her calm and self-control disappear without a trace, and she completely forgot how to deal with it. The buttons were buttoned one by one, and Su Chinghui used all his self-control. When the last button was buttoned, he was more or less relieved. He wasn't a beast, but he really couldn't bear to see his beloved woman disheveled in front of him, unless he was a saint. Looking at the wheelchair beside him, he went forward and pushed the wheelchair over. He picked up Li Qianxue. Su Qinghui. The feeling of her body suddenly being suspended in the air shocked Li Qianxue. When he put her in the wheelchair, she realized that she seemed to be too nervous. Let's go downstairs for breakfast. You probably haven't had breakfast yet. Of course not. The moment Li Qianxue turned around, she saw the large bouquet of roses in the room. She was stunned. The scene just now came into her mind, and Li Qianxue's face turned red. Suddenly she was a little embarrassed and angry. Su Qinghui, who allowed you to come up? Get out of here. Not only did Li Qianxue chase him away, but she also added, if you don't go out, I don't mind asking Uncle Zhang to come up and chase you away. Su Qinghui's hand, which was on the wheelchair, stopped for a moment. He went around to Li Qianxue and half squatted down to look at her. Are you angry? Don't I have the right to be angry? Li Qianxue pointed in the direction of the door. Who allowed you to enter my room? Who allowed you to enter the Li family? Don't forget we're divorced. I haven't forgotten. Su Qinghui looked at the anger on her face. He no longer felt helpless, anxious, regretful, and self-reproach like before. There were still some of those emotions, but more than that, he was willing to put his heart on doing something practical instead of using it on useless regrets. Qianxue, are you so angry because I entered the house? Or because of the kiss just now? If it's because of entering the house, my daughter and son are here. I can't think of anything wrong with me coming to see them. If it's because of the kiss just now, shut up. Li Qianxue raised her voice, but Su Qinghui grabbed her hand at this moment. You felt it just now, didn't you? I didn't. Su Qinghui, shut up. This time, Li Qianxue was really embarrassed into anger. Who would have feelings? She didn't, not at all. I hate you. I can't even wait to hate you. How can I feel anything? You? Before she could finish her sentence, Su Qinghui actually kissed her lips again. It was a kiss that was even more lingering, fragrant, and presumptuous than before. He did his best to provoke a reaction from her. She sat in the wheelchair and was suppressed by him until she had nowhere to run. Until she became a pool of water again. He stepped back a little and pressed his forehead against hers. Seeing her breathing quicken and her face turn red, he reached out and gently caressed her face. Look, you have a reaction too. Li Qianxue was speechless. She should slap him or punch him directly, but she really didn't have any strength now. If she weren't sitting in a wheelchair, she might have already fallen to the ground. She didn't expect Su Qinghui to do this again, nor did she expect Su Qinghui's kiss to make her so addicted. For a moment, her entire body froze in the wheelchair, and she couldn't come back to her senses for a long time. Shameless. After holding it in for a long time, Li Qianxue only said this. Yes, I know. He didn't deny it. Holding her face, he looked at her very seriously. But what should I do? After meeting you, I only want to do some shameless things. Looking at the stunned Li Qianxue, he wanted to laugh again. This Li Qianxue was less cold and arrogant and more cute. He couldn't help but peck her lips. Qianxue, you're so cute. Li Qianxue's face instantly turned red. Su Qinghui, was he coaxing her like a child? She was already in her 40s, and he actually said she was cute? Her heart rose and fell violently, but she didn't say the words to chase him away. In the current situation, she had lost a little in terms of momentum. How could she still have the face to chase him away? However, this made Li Qianxue's expression even worse. When Su Qinghui's car stopped at the entrance of the company, his mind was still thinking about Li Qianxue. Whether it was her blushing and heartbeat because of his kiss, or her reaction when she was teased by him, they all made him think about it again and again. This kind of feeling was actually really strange. In the past, when he hadn't discovered his feelings, no matter what Li Qianxue did, he could ignore it. But when he really discovered his feelings and understood his thoughts, he felt that Li Qianxue's every move was fascinating. She was angry, and she was cold. No matter which side it was, it made his heart beat faster. Thinking of how she refused his approach because she was angry when she went downstairs and took the initiative to sit next to her daughter, he felt a wave of joy. No matter what, today's progress was beyond his expectations. Qianshui's emotions fluctuated. Whether it was anger or hatred, joy or resentment, in his opinion, it was a good thing. At least it meant that she was not indifferent to everything about him. He would also have more confidence that he would persevere to make her soften, be moved, and even fall in love with him again. He was in a good mood. When he entered the office, his footsteps were extremely light. For the past 2 days, because of Li Qianshui's injury, he had been taking care of her in the hospital. Although he did not neglect his work, there were still some things that he had to personally ask about. Xiao Ran followed him in as soon as he entered the door. After reporting today's activities, he placed a few resumes in front of Su Qinghui. President Su, Secretary Huang was about to give birth to a second child. Therefore, she needs to find someone to replace her position. You once said that you want to interview your secretary yourself. These are the top few in the written test. Take a look. Su Qinghui had 2 secretaries. The general secretary's surname was Huang, and she had been with him for several years. She was quite steady in everything she did. However, recently, she was unexpectedly pregnant with a second child. Secretary Huang was not young, and she wanted to give birth to the child. She had told him early that she planned to go and raise the child after this month. Her position was vacant, so Su Qinghui asked Xiao Ran to recruit people. The first and second place in this written test are both not bad. The others also have their own strengths. I've arranged for the interview this afternoon. Do you think it's okay? Okay. Su Qinghui couldn't interview everyone. There were only 3 or 4 people in total. The investment cases that he was dealing with now were not small. The people who worked with him, whether it was Secretary Huang or Xiao Ran, had all been working with him for many years. He hoped that the people he could recruit in the future would be loyal and reliable. However, Su Qinghui didn't expect that he would meet an acquaintance during the interview in the afternoon. Uncle? When Jing Shu entered the door, she saw Su Qinghui. Her eyes lit up and she looked surprised. Uncle, why are you here? Are you here for an interview too? She walked in with extremely cheerful steps, as if she didn't notice that Su Qinghui's seat was not for an interviewee. Su Qinghui looked at her smiling face. When she smiled, she looked more like Su Peijian. Thinking of his daughter, Su Qinghui's expression relaxed a little. I'm here for an interview. Really? Jing Shu sighed. Then what should I do? Uncle, won't you become my competitor? But uncle, let me tell you. I won't admit defeat. I believe that my abilities won't lose to yours. Really? This confident look was also very similar. Su Qinghui pulled out her information and glanced at it. Your name is Jing Shu? Yes. Jing Shu seemed to understand now. Uncle, how did you know? She looked at the information in front of Su Qinghui and then at the seat he was sitting in. She seemed to have suddenly understood. Uncle, you're the interviewer? Are you from Qianhui Corporation? Yes. Su Qinghui sat down and looked at Jing Shu's shocked face. He calmed himself and said in a businesslike manner, Sit down. You came in second in the written test. Your results are not bad, but I still have some questions to ask you. Go ahead. After knowing that Su Qinghui was the interviewer, Jing Shu's attitude changed. She sat upright with a serious expression. The smile on her small face disappeared, and her eyes were obviously nervous. Relax a little. It's not a difficult question. Seeing that the other party was somewhat similar to Su Peijian, Su Qinghui wouldn't make things too difficult for her. You're 23 years old today? You just graduated from university a year ago? Yes. Jing Shu was a little embarrassed when she said this. I only graduated for a year, and I only have 1 year of work experience. Weren't you in Lin City before? Then why did you want to come to Lin City to develop? Can I not say? Jing Shu looked at Su Qinghui, as if she didn't really want to answer this question. Su Qinghui frowned. Then can you tell me the reason for your resignation? No company would like an employee who kept changing jobs. Su Qinghui was naturally the same. Can I also not answer this question? Jing Shu's answer made Su Qinghui's expression become more serious. He raised his head, as if it was the first time he had looked at the little girl in front of him. If that's the case, then I can only refuse to hire you. Jing Shu's face fell. Su Qinghui didn't have much sympathy. It was one thing to feel close to the other party because she looked somewhat similar to Su Peijian, but it was another thing for work. No matter how much she looked like Su Peijian, she wasn't Su Peijian. And he had always been very serious about work. He pressed the internal line and was about to call the next interviewer. Jing Shu suddenly grabbed his hand. I'll tell you. She lowered her head, as if she was a little reluctant. Actually, why did I come to Lin City? It's because of my boyfriend. I used to work in my hometown, and I was doing well. But my boyfriend felt that we were living apart. He wanted me to come to Lin City before. I refused, so he said that I didn't love him. Later, when I finally compromised, he always complained a lot. I love my boyfriend very much. After thinking about it, I convinced my parents to come to Lin City, but I didn't expect that my boyfriend was just lying to me. When I wasn't by his side, he already had a new lover. What are you trying to say? Su Qinghui didn't hear the main point of her words. I want to say that the purpose of my interview with your company isn't as grand as the other interviewees. I'm just angry. I could have gone home, but I resigned and ran away. I would definitely be laughed at when I go back. I don't want my ex-boyfriend to look down on me either. So I came for an interview to find a job and prove to my boyfriend that I can do it too. Jing Shu seemed to be a little embarrassed. She looked at Su Qinghui. So, that's how it is. I can't be like the other candidates and say that I joined your company because I love this industry. My purpose wasn't simple from the beginning. She twisted her fingers and looked very uncomfortable. Su Qinghui looked at the other party's resume and thought for a moment. I got it. Uncle? Jing Shu seemed to want to say something, but Su Qinghui knocked on the table. Next Monday, come to the company's personnel department to report. Then, I'll get someone to take you there and tell you what you want to do. Uncle, do you mean to hire me? Is that so? Jing Shu looked shocked. She couldn't believe that she would have such good luck. I'm hiring you. Su Qinghui looked at her surprised expression and smiled. But didn't you say you want to prove it to your boyfriend? If you don't work, how can you prove it? Uncle, don't worry. I'll definitely work hard. Jing Shu stood up with an excited expression. I'll definitely work hard. I'll also double my studies. I won't drag the company down. Really, Uncle? Believe me. That's enough. Su Qinghui wasn't angry when he heard the other party's incoherent words. They had all been young, so it was understandable that they were a little unsteady. Go. Remember to report next week. Of course. Jing Shu took a step back. Because she was too excited, she almost stepped on her own feet. She smiled involuntarily. Goodbye, Uncle. Uncle, you're such a good person. Stop. Seeing that the other party was about to pull the door, Su Qinghui stopped her. Jing Shu stopped and turned to look at Su Qinghui. Work hard. Also, remember to call me President Su next time. He didn't want people to misunderstand that the company had some connections. Got it. Jing Shu saluted him. Just as she was about to call him uncle, the words that came out of her mouth changed. Goodbye, President Su. Jing Shu left the door. Her face was no longer as stupid as she had been in Su Qinghui's office. She took out her phone and sent a message. Chapter 742. Su Qinghui didn't have much to do for the interview today. He told Xiao Ran to cancel all his social engagements for the next few days. He left the company but was not in a hurry to go to the Li family. Instead, he wanted to choose a birthday present for Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue's birthday was coming up. Although she had not fully recovered from her injuries, she was almost fully recovered. The cast on his hand would be removed in a few days. It was just that it was a little inconvenient. The sprain on his foot was basically healed, but he had to be careful when walking and not use too much force. Her body had almost recovered, so she couldn't sit still. He still wanted to work in the company. How could they agree before the plaster was even removed? Thinking of Li Qianxue, Su Qinghui felt a little excited. In fact, although she had been treating him coldly for the past few days, she had not been able to drive him out of her life. Firstly, the two children were at home. With Li Qianshue's personality, she really couldn't do anything to stop the children from being close to Su Qinghui. Su Qingsang, for example, had lacked fatherly love for so many years. Now that Su Qinghui wanted to make it up to her, she wouldn't stop him. As a result, she couldn't stop him, which made things much easier for Su Qinghui. Not only did that fellow enter her room, he even took the opportunity to get close to her. Her hands and feet had been injured for the past few days. How could she be a match for Su Qinghui? Being carried up and down the stairs by him was nothing. She could only endure it when he took advantage of her care to take advantage of her from time to time. What was even more intolerable was that he would kiss and touch her from time to time. It had seriously affected her mood. Every time she saw Su Qinghui, her face darkened. However, she couldn't refuse Su Qinghui even if she was ugly. Of course, Su Qinghui saw the changes in her. He was very happy and became more and more attentive. In the past 20 years, Su Qinghui had never picked out a gift for Li Qianxue. Birthday presents are given every year. After all, at that time, he and Li Qianxue still wanted to maintain the appearance of harmony in their marriage. However, the gifts were always picked by his secretary. This was the first time he had personally picked one. After visiting several shops, Su Qinghui was still not satisfied. In his opinion, these jewels were too tacky and unworthy of Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue was the president of the Li Group. What kind of jewelry hadn't she seen? How could these vulgar things be worthy of her? With that in mind, Su Qinghui couldn't find anything he was satisfied with. He was a little anxious. After some thought, he made a trip to ancient Langxian. Gu Langxian was the property of Hua Jinyao's childhood friend, Wan Xianyang's family. Originally, it only had branches in the north. Later, because Hua Jinyao came to Lin City to develop, Gu Langxian also opened a few branches in the south. There was one in Lin City. Su Qinghui went to Gu Langxian. He was lucky. He took a fancy to a set of jewelry. Although the material was ruby, the design was very simple and elegant. Most importantly, this set of jewelry came from a prestigious family. It was part of a series designed by the royal designer of the Belgian royal family. He didn't know how he ended up in China. Su Qinghui bought his favorite jewelry. When he was about to go home, he saw a pair of emerald dragon and phoenix pendants. The two pieces of jade, one dragon and one phoenix, were of superior quality both in terms of carving technique and quality. Su Qinghui thought for a moment and bought the two pieces of jade as well. Li Qianshue's birthday had been half a month since her car accident. After half a month, the cast on her hand had been removed. It was too inconvenient to wear a cast. After asking the doctor and knowing that the injury on her hand had recovered well, she didn't want to wear a cast anymore. Now, it was just wrapped in a bandage and hung around her neck. She was usually careful not to touch it or use force. She would wait for her hand to recover. Today was her birthday. In the past, on her birthday, she would hold a banquet at the Li family and invite some of her good friends to come over for a small gathering. However, this year, her hand was injured, so she wanted to keep everything simple. Li Qianxue canceled this event. When old Master Li asked her a few days ago, she said that it would be enough for the family to have a meal together. Li Qianxue got up early in the morning and had just put on her clothes when Su Qingsang knocked on the door. "Come in." Su Qingsang entered the door, but she wasn't alone. She and Su Yusen were holding two children in each hand. Her Xiangxiang and Yan Yan were full of energy and woke up very early every day. Xiangxiang and Yan Yan are here. Li Qianshue's heart melted when she saw her grandson and granddaughter. "Why are you up so early? We just got off the plane yesterday. Let the children sleep a little longer." The two little guys had never been out before. This time, they came to Lin City to celebrate Li Qianshue's birthday. It was their first time taking a plane. Previously, Li Qianxue was very worried. Yesterday, she checked the children up and down before letting them go. They got up early. Su Qingsang and Su Yusen entered the door with the children in their arms. Xiangxiang and Yan Yan video called Li Qianxue every day and were very close. Now that they saw Li Qianxue, they wanted to reach out and let Li Qianxue carry them. Stop fooling around. Su Qingsang pressed her son's hand and didn't let him move. Grandma is injured. I can't carry you. It's okay. Who said that? Li Qianxue was about to reach out, but Su Qingsang stopped her. Mom, stop fooling around. Although your hand cast is gone, the doctor said that you have to take good care of it. Look at you, you've even removed the bandage. You really... Don't worry, I won't use any force. Can't you carry the child with force? Su Qingsang wouldn't let her carry the child no matter what. She glanced at Su Yusin and the two of them carried the child to Li Qianxue. Come, baby, say happy birthday to Grandma. The two children were only a few months old. How could they speak? However, they only cried out. Good. Li Qianxue was already very satisfied. Looking at the two children, her heart softened. Su Qingsang took out the gift she had prepared. I wish you a happy birthday. You're getting younger and more beautiful. You child. Li Qianxue took her daughter's gift. She was gratified and touched. You're so polite to me. To her, Su Qingsang's willingness to let Hu Jinyao bring Xiangxiang and Nian Nian to Lin City was the biggest gift. Happy birthday. Su Yusin followed and handed over the gift. Good. Li Qianxue looked at her two children and was no longer dissatisfied. Her gaze fell on Su Yusin. Yusin, when you get married and have a child, Mom will really be satisfied. Her gaze fell on Su Yusin. Su Yusin, who didn't understand how the topic had jumped to this point, was speechless. Mom, I'm only 19 this year. I'm only a freshman. I know, there's no rush. But if you want to find him now, I won't object. Su Yusin didn't respond. Instead, he carried his little niece and walked outside. All right, I'll take Nian Nian to see brother-in-law. Hu Jinyao came yesterday, but he had the habit of doing morning exercises every morning. So he went to exercise early in the morning. Whenever I say I'm looking for a girlfriend, you won't answer me. They were still dating in high school. Don't think that she didn't know. She would always pay attention to her son's changes. Why did he become so clear-minded after going to university? Li Qianxue didn't understand. Su Qingsang looked in the direction of her brother's departure and also didn't understand. She knew that Su Yusin had a girlfriend, but what happened to him and Bai Jihan? Maybe she could ask him later. When Li Qianxue went downstairs, Auntie Zhang had prepared longevity noodles for her for decades. While the family was having a good time, Su Qinghui arrived. Seeing Su Qinghui, Li Qianxue felt uncomfortable for a moment, but it was only for a moment. During this period of time, Su Qinghui had almost become a frequent visitor of the Li family. Except when he didn't live here, he would appear on time every morning and evening. Su Qinghui entered the door and greeted Old Master Li and the others. Then he looked at Li Qianxue. Qianxue, happy birthday. As he spoke, he pushed the box in his hand in front of Li Qianxue. His eyes were full of anticipation. Li Qianxue looked at the box and didn't reach out to take it. She didn't have any intention of picking it up and looking at it. Qianxue. Happy birthday, Su Qinghui said again. He didn't mind being humiliated by Li Qianxue. When his gaze fell on Xiangxiang and Nian Nian, who were in Hu Jinyao and Su Qingsang's arms, he took out the pair of dragon and phoenix jade pendants in his hand. When I was buying a gift for your mother, I happened to see this pair of jade pendants and thought they were okay. You can wear them for the two children to play with. Su Qingsang and Hu Jinyao were in Rong City. Although he would occasionally visit the two children, they didn't spend much time together after all. Su Qinghui was still very concerned about these two grandchildren. Thank you, Dad. Su Qingsang took the box and shook it in front of the two little babies. Xiangxiang and Nian Nian, look, you guys also have gifts for Grandma's birthday. Are you happy? Nian Nian glanced at it and wasn't interested. The more he thought about it, the more interested he became. He wanted to grab it with all his might. Li Qianxue looked at her grandson's cute behavior, and the coldness on her face dissipated a little. Since you're here, let's have a meal together, Old Master Li said. He had also seen Su Qinghui's performance during this period of time. His feelings towards this ex-son-in-law were a little complicated. After talking to Wei Ting last time, he felt that Wei Ting was a good young man. Although there was a big age gap between him and Li Qianxue, he was steady and thoughtful. He thought about the problem from a comprehensive perspective. That was why he was relieved. However, he didn't expect Su Qinghui to be so attentive during this period of time. He had also seen Li Qianxue's thoughtfulness and care. For a moment, old Master Li's heart softened. No matter what, he was a junior that he had raised by his side. Even if he made a mistake, he had to give him a chance, right? His daughter glared at him angrily again. Old Master Li looked at Li Qianxue's reaction and actually felt a little helpless. Li Qianxue might not have realized that no matter how many years had passed, the only person who could make her so emotional was Su Qinghui. Back then, how much effort had he spent to nurture Li Qianxue? Whether it was her speech, behavior, or the four arts. Whether it was her usual common sense or the company's affairs. She had always been calm and self-controlled. She rarely lost control, but she met Su Qinghui. No matter how many years had passed and how many things had happened, it could make her not as calm as usual. "Thank you, Dad." Su Qinghui received old Master Li's support and quickly pulled out a chair and sat down. Li Qianxue knew that she couldn't chase him away, but she didn't show much resistance. After all, ever since she was injured, there had been too many such situations. Not to mention old Master Li, even her son and daughter had softened because of Su Qinghui's actions. Li Qianxue was a little annoyed. She ate a bowl of longevity noodles as if she was chewing wax. After breakfast, Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue's expression and said very carefully, "Qianxue, the weather is good today. Why don't we go out for a walk?" Li Qianxue refused without thinking. "My foot injury hasn't healed yet. Why should we go?" In fact, it was already healed. It didn't matter if they walked on normal flat ground. But she wanted to say that on purpose. "I can push you in a wheelchair." "No need. I can walk on my own." After Li Qianxue said that, she realized the contradiction in her words. For a moment, she looked a little embarrassed. Su Qinghui didn't mind at all. "That's okay. If you want to go, go. If you don't want to go, I'll push you. Anyway, I won't let you be tired." Li Qianxue looked at Su Qinghui. How could he be so shameless? He just thought that she had to go out with him, right? Su Yusin said, "Mom, you took off the cast yesterday. Didn't the doctor ask you to go for a re-examination today?" "I'm going to the company. Let Dad send you there." As he spoke, he looked at Su Qingsang, hoping that she would cooperate with him. Su Qingsang blinked. She didn't plan to get involved, but in the end, she couldn't help but refuse Su Yusin. What's more, she had just received a gift from Su Qinghui. "Mom, let Dad take you for a re-examination. You can also visit Uncle Zhao. Jin Yao and I plan to visit Wan Wan and our colleagues in the hospital." How could Li Qianxue not see that the two children did it on purpose? She was so angry that she couldn't help but glare at Su Qinghui. It was all his fault. Now he had bought over his daughter and son. "Let's go. Let's go for a re-examination." The word "we" was said especially intimately. Li Qianxue could hear it. Her lips moved and she wanted to retort, but in the end, she held back. After going to the hospital for a checkup, Li Qianxue's body recovered quite well. This was because she liked to exercise and paid attention to health. Her physical condition was much better than that of her peers. Other than the injury on her hand, she had to pay attention to her foot injury. After receiving the doctor's instructions, Li Qianxue went to see Xiao Zhao again. Xiao Zhao was out of danger. After this period of rest, he had recovered a lot. The Li family was not a mean person. Li Qianxue let Xiao Zhao have a good rest. Then she left. After coming out of the hospital, Li Qianxue found that Su Qinghui had been following her. She turned around and looked at him with a complicated gaze. Although she didn't need Su Qinghui to take care of her during this period of time, it wasn't that she didn't feel anything for what he had done. But it was precisely because she felt that she felt more and more sad. This kind of emotion was very complicated. It was like a person who had always wanted something. One day, when he suddenly got it, he wouldn't feel that he had gotten it, but would doubt the authenticity of what he had gotten. Chapter 743. Li Qianxue stood at the entrance of the hospital and stared at Su Qinghui. He did not leave, nor did he speak. Qianxue? Su Qinghui looked at her worriedly. Are you okay? Does it hurt again? Should we go in and see a doctor again? The worry on his face was so obvious. Li Qianxue lowered her head and remained silent. Qianxue? Su Qinghui was even more worried. He rarely saw Li Qianxue like this. What's wrong with you? Can you tell me? Li Qianxue pursed her lips tightly. She looked down at her toes and then suddenly raised her head to look at Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui, can you stay away from me? The last 5 words became, tell me, what do you want? Su Qinghui was stunned for a moment. Meeting Li Qianxue's unreadable expression, he took a step forward. I want to make it up to you. I want a chance to be by your side. He didn't even dare to say something like starting over, nor could he say it out loud. He knew that he would be rejected by Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue naturally understood. At the moment, Su Qinghui's expectations were really low. She turned to look at the entrance of the hospital. At that moment, an ambulance had just entered the hospital. She looked at the ambulance that was approaching and moved a few steps to the side. The ambulance stopped, and a man covered in blood got out. The paramedics rushed out and carried the person on the stretcher to the stretcher. Then, they quickly rushed inside to rescue him. The hospital was a place where people were born, aged, sick, and died every day. Looking at the people coming and going, Li Qianxue seemed to have figured something out. He also understood some things. She took a few more steps outside. Su Qinghui didn't know what she wanted to do, so he kept following her. Looking at her figure, he wanted to say something several times, but he was afraid that he would upset Li Qianxue. Su Qinghui. Walking out of the hospital, Li Qianxue, who was standing beside Su Qinghui's car, suddenly stopped in her tracks. She didn't look at him but continued to stare at the heavy traffic on the road. You said you wanted to make it up to me. You said you want a chance to stay by my side? Yes. But let me tell you, if I don't need you to make it up to me, I don't want to see you by my side. What do you want? Silence. Su Qinghui, who had already known this result, was not surprised at all. If Li Qianxue could forgive him so easily, then she wouldn't be called Li Qianxue. Or rather, what if I choose to be with another man? What do you want? Su Qinghui's pupils suddenly contracted. He looked at Li Qianxue's back and felt bitter in his mouth. I'm not young anymore. Li Qianxue knew very well that no matter how well she took care of herself, now that she was a grandmother, she also had an old heart. I don't have the energy either. She turned around and looked at Su Qinghui. There was some uncertainty in her eyes, but only for a moment. Soon, her expression became extremely determined. Su Qinghui, you know what? You have consumed all my passion, the power of all my lovers. I don't know how to love anymore. Su Qinghui's throat seemed to be choked. Of course, he knew everything that Li Qianxue said. I don't think so, don't say sorry. Li Qianxue didn't want to hear those words right now. She raised her hand, tilted her head, and stared fixedly at Su Qinghui's face. I don't need your apology. It's useless to apologize. Li Qianxue frowned slightly. This was her expression when she was thinking. She didn't speak, and Su Qinghui didn't know what to say. Other than apologizing and making up for it, he really didn't seem to be able to do anything. Qianxue? Do you love me? The extremely sudden question made Su Qinghui think that there was something wrong with his ears. I love you. Li Qianxue wasn't surprised. More than a year had passed. She had heard Su Qinghui's confession more than once. Even if sometimes he didn't directly say the words I love you. But I don't really believe it. Qianxue, she interrupted his eager confession. Li Qianxue had always been a straightforward person. Once she made a decision, she wouldn't regret it, let alone look back. Su Qinghui, if I never love you in the future, would you mind? Su Qinghui didn't understand what Li Qianxue meant. You said that you want to make it up to me. You said that you love me. You said that you just want a chance to be with me. Then let me ask you, Su Qinghui. If I never love you in this life, no matter what you do, I will only hate you. Wouldn't you mind? Do you still want to be with me? More than 20 years of hurt, in exchange for the pain of not being able to recognize her daughter, Li Qianxue admitted that she couldn't easily turn the page. Yes. This time, Su Qinghui's voice was much firmer. No matter what, I will always be with you. Li Qianxue fell silent again. She lowered her head and happened to see the shadow created by the sunlight on her body. Her actions today were obviously not right. Su Qinghui had no idea what she meant and stood there uneasily. Okay. After a long time, he heard Li Qianxue say the word, okay. Okay? What was okay? Li Qianxue looked up at him as if she had made up her mind. I agree to give you a chance. Qianxue? This time, Su Qinghui really thought that he was hallucinating. How was that possible? After Li Qianxue said the first word, the rest was much easier. I agree with what you said just now. If you want a chance, I'll give it to you. But it's only for 1 year. What? There were too many surprises today, and Su Qinghui didn't have time to digest them. He only felt that it was surreal. I said I'll give you 1 year. If you can change my mind and believe your sincerity in this year, I'll agree to be with you. Qianxue? Su Qinghui was completely stunned by the sudden huge surprise. You, is what you said true? You only have 1 year. After these past few days, Li Qianxue had actually confirmed some things. She could never be indifferent to Su Qinghui. She would always have a different feeling for him. After all, she had loved him for so many years, and it had already gone deep into her bones. It really wasn't something that could be erased in a day or two. But she couldn't forget the hurt he had brought to her, and she couldn't forget what he had done. She was conflicted. Now, she wanted to give him a chance and also give herself a chance. Feelings could be cultivated again, but the hurt would always be there. She gave herself 1 year. If a year later, she could really slowly let go of the hurt and forget, then she wouldn't mind being with Su Qinghui again. But if a year later, the feeling he gave her was still the same as now, making her in a dilemma, then she could only decisively cut off all contact with Su Qinghui. If she made up her mind, even Su Qinghui couldn't stop her. Su Qinghui couldn't help but step forward and hug her. He avoided her injured hand and trapped her tightly in his arms. Qianxue, I believe me. I will work hard. I will definitely work hard. I promise I will persist. Not just this year but for many years to come. He thought that he would never have a chance in this lifetime. He also thought that he might have to wait many years before Li Qianxue would let him go, but he didn't expect that day to come so soon. Qianxue, thank you. Thank you so much. Even if she hadn't agreed yet, even if there was still 1 year, it was enough for Su Qinghui. He would definitely work hard to make her accept him again. Don't thank me. Li Qianxue was still not used to him being so close to her. She pushed him away and took a step back. I haven't forgiven you, and I haven't accepted you. I'm just giving you time. 1 year. If you can't do it, then you have to promise that you'll never appear in front of me again. Qianxue? If you don't agree, then my proposal just now will be invalid. I will hire a professional manager and travel the world so that you won't be able to find me. Su Qinghui, don't doubt my ability. I can do it. As the president of the Li family, of course she could do it. Su Qinghui knew. However, he thought that she would at least care about old Master Li and the 2 children. I have ties, but I also want to live for myself once. As if knowing what he was thinking, Li Qianxue didn't mind telling him her plan. Su Qinghui understood what she meant. Li Qianxue was such a person. How about it? Do you agree? Meeting her provocative gaze, he nodded heavily. I agree. 1 year. Just 1 year. If I can't make you change your mind in a year, I promise I won't pester you again. Wrong. It's not that you won't pester me, but you'll never appear in front of me again. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue's exquisite eyes and nodded heavily in agreement. After he agreed, Li Qianxue felt her back suddenly relax. It was as if something had suddenly been let go. 1 year, just 1 year. No matter what, let her enjoy Su Qinghui's efforts for the time being. In the past few years, she had been the one who had been giving. She had been working hard for the relationship between the 2 of them. Now that she was tired, The roles had been reversed. Let Su Qinghui worry about it. After getting into the car, Su Qinghui still hadn't recovered from that mood. He was like a young boy, not knowing where to put his hands and feet. Qianxue, where are you going? Shall I send you? Li Qianxue turned her face to look at him, as if she was looking at a fool. Go home. I'm injured. Where else can I go? Yes, go home. Go home. Su Qinghui nodded, but when he was about to start the car, he couldn't help but stop and look at her. Why don't we go on a date? Go to the movies? Or go shopping? He didn't know what to do with a woman, so he was very clumsy for a moment. He really hadn't dated a woman before. He didn't know what a boyfriend and girlfriend usually did on a date. Su Qinghui, you seem to have forgotten something, right? Chapter 744. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet. Naturally, there was no such thing as a date. Li Qianxue looked at his stupid look and couldn't help but want to hit him. So, what do you mean by a date? Weren't they boyfriend and girlfriend? Su Qinghui's face suddenly fell. But you said, I said I'd give you a chance, but I didn't say I'd be your girlfriend. Li Qianxue felt that it was really strange for her to say the word girlfriend. Su Qinghui's face suddenly darkened because of Li Qianxue's words. He looked at her and his mouth moved. In the end, he didn't give up. Even if I'm not your girlfriend, it's your birthday today. As a friend, can I celebrate it for you? This excuse was not bad. Su Qinghui couldn't help but add, we're friends. Can't I celebrate your birthday for you? He looked at the time. It was still early for lunch. Without waiting for Li Qianxue's response, he directly started the car and drove away. When Li Qianxue stood in front of Su Qinghui's door, she stood there and took a step back. She didn't intend to go forward. Su Qinghui? Come in. Su Qinghui opened the door and let Li Qianxue in. Li Qianxue stood at the door and didn't move. Su Qinghui, don't push your luck. I just said I'd give you a chance, but I didn't promise to get back together with you. I know. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue, who stood at the door and refused to enter. He raised his hand and looked at her helplessly. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I just want to treat you to a meal. Li Qianxue looked at him. Su Qinghui took a step back. I've already asked Xiao Ran to buy groceries just now. He has the key to my apartment. Don't worry, I really just want to have a meal with you. The meal he cooked. Li Qianxue stared at his face for a while, but in the end she still entered the door. Su Qinghui was satisfied. He let Li Qianxue in and quickly went to the kitchen. When he came out again, there was a glass of juice in his hand. Sit for a while. I'll be quick. Li Qianxue took the glass of juice and sat down on the sofa. Seeing that Su Qinghui had returned to the kitchen, she first called her family and told them that she wouldn't go back for lunch. Then she got up and looked around the house. Everything was clean. Su Qinghui was a little obsessed with cleanliness. He also didn't like others touching his things. It could be seen that after the divorce, he had learned to take care of himself. Outside the balcony, the scenery here was not bad. She had put in a lot of effort to build this house. After walking one round, she went to the kitchen. She found Su Qinghui standing by the kitchen table, cooking very attentively. He didn't just know how to put on airs. She had tasted the noodles he made last time, and it was indeed delicious. She didn't know that Su Qinghui would cook for her one day. Thinking about it seriously, it was really subtle. She did not dislike such a feeling. Her life had been smooth ever since she was a child. Except for her mother's early death, old Master Li doted on her to the extreme. Ever since she started school, the people around her could only suck up to her. Regardless of whether it was her classmates or her friends from the upper class who had dealings with the Li family. That was why when Su Qinghui didn't care about her and couldn't see her, she was motivated to conquer this man. She still remembered the first time he confronted her in the conference room. At that time, he didn't think of himself as a woman at all. Instead, he thought of himself as a man, an ordinary colleague, and argued for what was right. Because of him, she was particularly concerned about that case. In fact, it turned out that some of his ideas were right, but some of his ideas were wrong. And he wasn't arrogant. After realizing that he was wrong, he came to apologize to her very calmly. Then the two of them discussed how to deal with it again. He wasn't a male chauvinist. He wouldn't look down on her just because she was a woman. On the contrary, every time the two of them communicated, there would always be new sparks. The more time passed, the more obvious her feelings for him became. It was just that she didn't expect Su Qinghui to have a girlfriend at that time. Hungry? I'll serve the soup and you can eat. Sit down first. As soon as Su Qinghui turned around, he saw Li Qianxue standing at the kitchen door in a daze. He picked up the dishes on the kitchen table and put them on the table. Sit down first. Only then did Li Qianxue realize that she had been watching Su Qinghui cook. She left the kitchen uncomfortably and sat down at the table. Su Qinghui was very attentive. He didn't need Li Qianxue to do anything. He directly set the bowls and chopsticks and brought out the dishes. Have a bowl of soup. Su Qinghui was a little embarrassed when he served the soup to Li Qianxue. I'm in a hurry. I'll make health soup for you next time. Li Qianxue didn't comment. If she wanted to eat delicious food, she could go back and ask Auntie Zhang to make it. She didn't have to come here. Your hand isn't convenient. Why don't I feed you? Realizing that Li Qianxue didn't serve the soup, Su Qinghui suddenly thought of her hand injury. He reached out to pick up the bowl in front of her. No need. I'm fine. Li Qianxue didn't think she needed too much care from him. It was just that she couldn't use too much strength with one hand. Qianxue. Su Qinghui was very stubborn. He brought the soup in front of her and took the spoon. I'll feed you. The doctor said that you still have to take care of your hand. Li Qianxue didn't have time to stop him. He was already like when she was in the hospital. This time, she didn't move and just obediently let him feed her. Su Qinghui was in a very good mood when he finished the bowl of soup. He went to serve her rice again. His overly attentive attitude touched Li Qianxue's heart. While Su Qinghui was feeding her, she said for some reason, let's go to the movies in the afternoon. Su Qinghui's expression was very interesting for a moment. He looked at Li Qianxue and suddenly smiled. Qianxue? Li Qianxue didn't look at his happy eyes. I have to go home after the movie. I don't want to be alone with you for dinner. Okay. Su Qinghui looked at her, his eyes full of smiles. Today, he felt that he was too happy, as if he was riding a roller coaster. After dinner, they rested for a while. The two of them really went to the movies. Su Qinghui deliberately chose a romantic comedy. This kind of movie was the most suitable for relaxing. The plot was a little boring. For Li Qianxue, this feeling was a little fresh. Halfway through the movie, when the male and female leads kissed each other, she didn't refuse Su Qinghui's hand. Since she had decided, she would be open and open. This was her principle. Su Qinghui obviously didn't expect to make such a big progress today. He was extremely happy. After coming out of the cinema, the smile in Su Qinghui's eyes didn't fade. That expression looked a little silly to Li Qianxue. She had never seen Su Qinghui like this before. Now that she thought about it, it was actually not bad. Su Qinghui sent Li Qianxue back to everyone. However, just as the car was about to drive into the Li family's villa, a car blocked in front of the two of them. Su Qinghui was stunned for a moment. Before he could react, the person in the car opposite had already gotten out. Seeing the person, Su Qinghui's expression didn't look good. Wei Ting didn't expect that today was Li Qianxue's birthday. He came to look for Li Qianxue, but he didn't. Old Master Li said that Li Qianxue wasn't around, and her children also said that he wasn't around. What's more, he even knew that Li Qianxue went out with Su Qinghui. This way, our little Chairman Wei would feel uncomfortable in his heart. He originally wanted to leave, but he was unwilling. He hadn't seen Li Qianxue today. How could he leave just like that? He didn't expect that after waiting for a long time, Li Qianxue finally came back. Qianxue. When Wei Ting got out of the car, Li Qianxue also saw him. After thinking for a moment, she also got out of the car. President Wei? Qianxue. Of course, Wei Ting didn't miss Su Qinghui in the car, nor did he miss the expression on Li Qianxue's face that was completely different from usual. You, happy birthday? He felt uncomfortable, but he still gave Li Qianxue the gift he had prepared. Thank you. After receiving the gift, Li Qianshue's expression didn't change much. However, Wei Ting sensitively realized that Li Qianxue was really different. "Qianxue, are you going to get back together with Su Qinghui?" As he spoke, he pointed in Su Qinghui's direction. Li Qianxue looked at his reaction. Actually, she didn't want to hurt Wei Ting. After all, this person was really good. "Wei Ting, this doesn't seem to have anything to do with you, right?" "Of course it has something to do with me." Wei Ting was furious. "I'm pursuing you. How can you get back together with him?" "Wei Ting. What kind of logic was this?" Li Qianxue had a headache. "You seem to have misunderstood. Whether I get back together with Su Qinghui or not, it's all my business." "I know it's your business." Wei Ting gritted his teeth, his eyes filled with unwillingness. "But, have you forgotten what he did to you in the past? Don't forget him, how he hurt you in the past." As Wei Ting spoke, there was a hint of grievance in his tone. "I've never hurt you. I'm also sincere to you. Why did you choose him and not me?" It wasn't that he was childish, nor was it that he was impulsive. He just didn't understand. "How am I worse than him? Tell me." He believed that his family background and appearance weren't bad. His sincerity towards Li Qianxue was only more than Su Qinghui's, not less than his. Especially since Su Qinghui had hurt Li Qianxue like that. But she would rather choose Su Qinghui than him. "Qianxue, are you really going to do this to me?" "Wei Ting, I told you a long time ago that it's impossible between us. Even without Su Qinghui, it would still be impossible. Li Qianxue wouldn't accept a boy who was more than 10 years younger than her." "I know, but you also told me that it's impossible between you and Su Qinghui." Wei Ting was really aggrieved. He couldn't help but sound a little angry. "Have you forgotten what you said? You once said that you would never forgive him. You said that you would never be with him?" Chapter 745. Su Qinghui walked up to Li Qianxue after he said, "How could you lie to me?" "President Wei, it doesn't seem appropriate for you to say that, right?" One hand was placed on Li Qianshue's shoulder, and the other hand carefully avoided her injured hand and placed on her waist. "Qianxue is an adult. She has her own thoughts and considerations. She can be with whoever she wants to be with. Does she need your consent?" Wei Ting looked at Su Qinghui's actions and his mood became even gloomier. "You don't need my consent, but as Qianshue's suitor, I want a fair chance to compete." "What are you doing?" "Wei Ting." Li Qianxue looked at Wei Ting. She had a good impression of Wei Ting. But the gap was really there. She really couldn't accept Wei Ting. "I know what you mean. I really thank you. But who I'm with really has nothing to do with you." Of course, Wei Ting knew everything, but it was because of this that he felt wronged. "Can't you find anyone? Why do you have to find him?" Had she forgotten what Su Qinghui had done? "President Wei, it's not appropriate for you to say that, right? What's wrong with my Qianxue looking for me?" Su Qinghui felt uncomfortable when he heard this. He was her legitimate husband. Even if they were divorced, she was still his first wife. "What's not appropriate? Don't you know what you've done to Qianxue? Besides, you still have an illegitimate daughter." Su Qinghui was speechless for the first time. Everything else was fine, but this matter was indeed his fault, and it was irreparable. He looked in Li Qianshue's direction nervously. Li Qianxue had a headache as she looked at Wei Ting, who was like a child. To be honest, she didn't hate Wei Ting. But the age difference between her and him was obvious. In her eyes, Wei Ting was like a child. He didn't have any bad intentions, but he was really childish. "Wei Ting, this is between me and Su Qinghui. It has nothing to do with you. I just feel wronged for you." Wei Ting pointed in Su Qinghui's direction. "You raised this man's illegitimate daughter for more than 20 years and gave birth to 2 children for him. How did he repay you? How can such a man be stronger than me?" In the end, this was what made Wei Ting unconvinced. Li Qianxue really couldn't answer such a question. If emotions and love could be controlled, she also hoped that she could choose the side that was more beneficial to her. "Wei Ting, if you're here to celebrate my birthday today, then I thank you. If you're here to talk about this, then I'm sorry, but I don't intend to continue talking to you. She is a woman of strong will. Since he had made the decision today, he would give Su Qinghui a chance. He wouldn't waver. Towards Wei Ting, she seemed to be looking at a junior. It wasn't that she didn't know his sincerity, so her tone was gentle. No one's sincerity should be trampled on, even if you can't accept the feelings of the other side. After she finished speaking, she walked inside. Wei Ting was helpless. He gritted his teeth and followed behind her. I'm here to celebrate your birthday. Qianxue, you're not going to shut me out, are you? How could that be? Li Qianxue looked at the grievance on his face and smiled. Those who come are guests. If you don't mind, let's have dinner together tonight. I don't mind. Wei Ting was overjoyed. When he turned to look at Su Qinghui, his gaze was a little provocative. Don't think that Qianxue is so great just because she went out with you. Look, Qianxue also let me in. Childish. Su Qinghui told himself not to lower himself to Wei Ting's level. However, for some reason, he felt a little sour. Old Master Li saw Li Qianxue bring Wei Ting and Su Qinghui in together and was confused for a moment. He wasn't the only one who couldn't understand. Su Qingsang and Su Yusin also couldn't understand. What was going on? Li Qianxue didn't look at their strange expressions. She called Xiao Tao and asked her to tell the kitchen that there were guests at home tonight. There was no need to specially instruct them. Hu Jinyao was here with the child. Auntie Zhang would prepare everything. Qianxue? It wasn't appropriate for other people to ask, but old Master Li could always ask. It's okay. You know Wei Ting too. He specially came to celebrate my birthday today, so I asked him to stay for dinner. Old Master Li nodded. Wei Ting was staying for dinner, but what about Su Qinghui? Just as Li Qianxue was about to sit down, she found that Su Qinghui and Wei Ting were standing beside her. It was as if she sat down, they would also sit down. She looked to the left, then to the right. Her eyes met the eyes of her daughter, son-in-law, and son on the opposite side of the sofa. Her lips moved and finally she turned to look at Su and Wei. Can you sit over there? I can't. The two of them spoke in unison. Especially Wei Ting. He moved a little closer to Li Qianxue. Qianxue, I'll sit with you. Qianxue, sit. Su Qinghui's reaction was much more mature than Wei Ting's. Li Qianxue glanced at him and sat down on the sofa. As soon as she sat down, Wei Ting and Su Qinghui sat down beside her at the same time. One on the left and one on the right, they were like two protectors. The living room was very quiet, so quiet that everyone's breathing could be heard clearly. Qianxue, are you thirsty? Wei Ting looked at the teapot on the coffee table and poured a cup of tea. Have some tea. Li Qianxue looked at the cup of tea. This seemed to be her home? Qianxue, it's time to eat. Don't drink tea. Have some fruit. As Su Qinghui spoke, he picked up the fruit in the bowl and placed it in front of Li Qianxue. There were toothpicks stuck in the fruit. What was going on? Su Qingsang and Hu Jinyao looked at each other and suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Su Yusin's lips moved. Do you mean that I also need to go to your company from time to time to let them know that this famous flower of yours is taken? Of course. Same here. The couple looked at each other and smiled. It was fine if they made such a joke, but neither of them took it seriously. However, if your mother really chooses Wei Ting, do you really not mind? As Li Qianxue's suitor, Hu Jinyao had naturally investigated Wei Ting. I don't mind. There was nothing to mind. As long as my mother is happy. You're quite open-minded, but if your mother chooses your father. In the future, you and Su Peijian will be sisters again. Su Peijian was only sentenced to 5 years in prison. She had already been in prison for a year and a half. It was said that she had performed meritorious deeds again and her sentence had been reduced. Perhaps she would be released soon. We'll deal with it when it comes. It wasn't that Su Qingsang hadn't considered these problems. I believe that if my father really wants to be with my mother, he won't let Su Peijian mess around. That's true. If she really doesn't give up, I don't mind sending her in again. Hu Jinyao looked at Su Qingsang. He didn't feel the need to show mercy to Su Peijian. As the two of them spoke, they had already arrived at the dining room. In the end, they found that Su Qinghui and Wei Ting weren't seated. They stood there and looked at each other. It turned out that Old Master Li had always sat at the head of the table. In the past, Su Qinghui and Li Qianxue sat on either side of him. However, today, Su Qinghui wanted to sit with Li Qianxue. Before he could walk over and sit next to Li Qianxue, the annoying Wei Ting wanted to occupy that seat. This way, the two of them were facing each other again. Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue looked at Su Qinghui. She didn't understand why he was always so childish today. Your seat isn't there. As she spoke, she raised her eyebrows slightly and looked at him. That seat was the seat of the male head of the Li family. Seriously speaking, if he didn't want to sit there, she could make it so that he wouldn't even be able to sit there. Su Qinghui stood still. He didn't feel good now. She had clearly said that she would give him a chance, but as soon as Wei Ting came, Li Qianxue started to give him a hard time. Could it be that she really liked Wei Ting? Wei Ting, sit down. Li Qianxue really didn't want to scold him. No matter what, he was a guest. She didn't say that the seat he chose was for her daughter in the past, so she would forget about it today. Wei Ting received Li Qianxue's approval, and the smile on his face became more and more smug. He gave Su Qinghui a provocative look before sitting down opposite him. Su Qinghui. The dinner was very sumptuous. Today was not only Li Qianxue's birthday, but also because Hu Jinyao and Su Qingsang had returned. Old Master Li was also in a good mood. He asked Uncle Zhang to open a bottle of wine. Chapter 746. Su Qinghui stood beside Li Qianxue and firmly occupied his position, trying to declare his sovereignty. The others looked at Wei Ting. Everyone had the same thought. This person gave off the feeling of a child who wanted candy but couldn't get it. Mom, let's begin. In the end, Su Yusen still helped his father a little. After all, Su Qinghui was his biological father. There was no reason not to help her own father and help an outsider. Li Qianxue looked at Wei Ting and her lips moved. In the end, she didn't ask him to take photos with her. It was not appropriate for them to take a family photo and let Wei Ting follow them into the country. The family used the living room as the background. Li Qianxue looked at Su Qinghui. He was in a much better mood because of Li Qianxue's cold treatment of Wei Ting just now. To be honest, it was a little embarrassing to argue with a junior, like Wei Ting. But the fact that Li Qianxue was on his side made him very happy. Under the arrangement of the photographer, the two of them sat on either side of Old Master Li. Then Hu Jinyao and Su Qingsang sat on the side with the baby in their arms, and finally, Su Yusen. Wei Ting realized that no one in the family paid attention to him. He stood at the side, feeling very resentful. He wanted to leave just like that, but he was unwilling to do so. What's more, he had prepared a big gift. There was no reason to ask him to leave before he had even given his gift, right? Li Qianxue followed her family to finish taking the family photo. The two little guys were surprisingly cooperative today. The two children's big black and white eyes twinkled, looking very photogenic. After taking the photo, Li Qianxue realized that she had been treated coldly by Wei Ting. She looked at him awkwardly and smiled. Wei Ting. Qianxue, you guys are done taking photos. Come and have some cake. He did not know when he had prepared it, but it would be pushed out. Everyone knew that Li Qianxue didn't like cake, so the Li family didn't prepare it. However, Wei Ting didn't know that when he asked someone to push the 3-layer cake out, she didn't refuse even if she didn't like it. Qianxue, come, light the candles and make another wish. Wei Ting was very interested and also wanted to get back at him. He lit the candle very eagerly. Then he squeezed to her side and urged her to make a wish. Li Qianxue looked at Wei Ting, who was like a child. She didn't want to say that at her age, she wouldn't believe in something as illusory as making a wish. She always had a clear goal. Whatever she wanted, she would fight for it and work hard. But when he saw Wei Ting's excited gaze, he didn't object. He clasped his hands together, closed his eyes, and made a wish. When she opened her eyes, she found that Wei Ting was holding his phone and taking a selfie with the two of them. Li Qianxue blinked and looked at Wei Ting. Wei Ting took this opportunity to take another photo. Looking at the photo, he waved it in front of Li Qianxue. "Qianxue, you're so beautiful." Everyone present, Su Chenghui thought, "Are you treating me as if I don't exist?" "Qianxue, what did you wish for? Tell me and I'll make it happen for you." Wei Ting's words made Li Qianxue laugh. "Didn't you say that the wish won't come true if it's said? It's all right. I am the great wishing immortal. I can grant your wishes." Wei Ting spoke mischievously, not caring that there were many other people present. At this moment, Su Chenghui inadvertently took 2 steps forward and squeezed between Wei Ting and Li Qianxue. Wei Ting, who was caught off guard, was pushed away by Su Chenghui. His expression didn't look good. Su Chenghui was 181 meters tall. Although he didn't have an 8-pack like Wei Ting, who trained every day, he was about the same height as Wei Ting, so he successfully blocked Wei Ting and Li Qianxue. "Qianxue, happy birthday." Wei Ting was about to squeeze forward when Su Chenghui took the knife in Li Qianxue's hand. "Your hand injury hasn't healed yet. Let me help you cut it." Looking at Su Chenghui's actions, it was too late for Wei Ting to take another step forward. He couldn't help but grit his teeth and stare at the figure in front of him. Invisible sparks floated in the air. Su Qingsang and Su Yusin looked at each other. This birthday was really lively. Wei Ting stayed at the Li family until very late. He was very stubborn and wanted to wait for Su Chenghui to leave before leaving. His intention was too obvious. No one present could not see it. Su Qingsang and Su Yu looked at each other and decided not to get involved. The two of them bade farewell to old Master Li one after another and went upstairs. "Mom, I'll go upstairs first. The child is going to sleep." As Hu Jinyao spoke, he followed them upstairs. The 2 babies were already tired from playing. The nanny had brought them upstairs. He was just making an excuse. Old Master Li watched the scene of 2 men fighting over a woman in front of him. Then, he looked at his daughter's expressionless face and stood up. "Qianxue, Dad is getting old. I'm going to sleep first." In less than 3 minutes, only Li Qianxue and the other 2 were left in the huge living room. Li Qianxue looked at Su Chenghui and then at Wei Ting. She felt a headache coming on. "Wei Ting, it's getting late." "I know." Wei Ting looked at the time and then at Su Chenghui. "Isn't he still here?" "President Wei, this doesn't seem to have anything to do with you, right?" Su Chenghui couldn't help but ask. Why? Wei Ting wanted to say that it had nothing to do with him, but in the end, his status was still uncertain. However, this made him furious. "Qianxue?" Li Qianxue held her forehead. "Wei Ting, it's really getting late. If there's anything, can we talk about it next time?" "It's getting late." Wei Ting pointed at Su Chenghui. "President Su, can you leave now?" "President Wei, leave first." "I still have something to say to Qianxue." "I also have something to say to Qianxue." Wei Ting started arguing with Su Chenghui. Li Qianxue felt a headache coming on. "I'm tired. I need to go back and rest." As she spoke, she stood up and looked at Su Chenghui and Wei Ting. "Wei Ting, Su Chenghui, the Li family is small. It can't accommodate you two. Both of you." "Qianxue? Qianxue, you still have to work tomorrow. Don't stay any longer. Also, don't come tomorrow. It's rare for Qingsang to come. I plan to accompany Qingsang and the 2 children for the next few days." She didn't give them any chance at all. Wei Ting took a step forward, and Su Chenghui blocked in front of him at the right time. The 2 of them looked at each other, neither of them giving in to the other. Li Qianxue looked back before she went upstairs. This scene made her pace quicken. She didn't want to talk to the 2 men at all. Wei Ting looked at Su Chenghui and knew that he had to leave today, but he couldn't let Su Chenghui stay. "President Su, please." "You're welcome." "President Wei, please." "Please." Wei Ting took a step forward and gestured for Su Chenghui to leave first. Su Chenghui glanced at him. His expression didn't change as he walked out calmly. The 2 men walked side by side out of the Li family's gate. Their cars were still parked at the gate. It was also because there weren't many visitors today. Otherwise, no one would be able to enter if they parked like this. "President Su, get in the car." If you don't drive away, my car can't leave either. Wei Ting was guarding against Su Qinghui. He wanted to stay and accompany Li Qianxue, but he couldn't. Su Qinghui glanced at him, got in the car, and started it. Wei Ting heaved a sigh of relief and got into the car. Su Qinghui's car was heading in the direction of the Li family. He had to turn around first. Wei Ting backed the car a little and let Su Qinghui turn around. However, in the blink of an eye, Su Qinghui's car drove into the gate of the Li family. Wei Ting's eyes widened. Before he could react, the door had already closed. Su Qinghui, Wei Ting was furious. Why didn't this person follow the routine? Su Qinghui's car stopped inside the gate for a moment. He turned around and looked at Wei Ting through the carved iron gate. Chief Wei, I forgot to remind you that I've lived here for more than 20 years. This door recognizes its master. He turned around and drove the car to the Li family's garage. Wei Ting stopped the car and got out of the car. He wanted to knock on the door, but he was afraid that he would make Li Qianxue unhappy. Feeling gloomy, he could only get into the car angrily. But in his heart, he decided that he must think of a way to get back at them. Su Qinghui didn't care what Wei Ting was thinking. After parking the car, he greeted Uncle Zhang and said that he still had a gift for Li Qianxue. Why would Uncle Zhang stop him? Seeing that Li Qianxue had let him in for a meal, a birthday celebration, and a family photo, why would she chase him away again? Su Qinghui went upstairs without a hitch. On the other side, Li Qianxue hadn't gone to take a shower yet. The table in the room was filled with the gifts she had received today. Birthdays were actually celebrated every year, but every year, she felt happy to receive the care of old Master Li and the children. Worldly possessions were nothing. The most satisfying birthday present for her was to have her whole family together. She opened Su Qingsong's gift and looked at Su Yusin's. They were both not bad. She could tell that they had put in a lot of effort. She was a little touched. After putting away the gifts one by one, she finally saw Su Qinghui's gift. She wasn't in a hurry to open it. Instead, she picked up the box and looked at it for a while. She naturally knew about Gu Langxian. When it opened, he even invited her to support it. Opening the box, she saw a set of expensive necklaces. The style and design were first class. She had seen this set of jewelry in Gu Langshuan's brochure. She didn't expect Su Qinghui to choose this set of jewelry for her. It could be considered thoughtful. Do you like it? Let me help you put it on? The sudden voice behind her shocked Li Qianxue. Why are you up here? She turned around and looked at Su Qinghui. Didn't he leave with Wei Ting? Your birthday isn't over yet. I wanted to come up to accompany you. Su Qinghui's words made Li Qianxue frown slightly. She put down the box, leaned back a little, and looked up at him. Su Qinghui, I don't think I agreed to let you enter the house. But you didn't object either. As he spoke, Su Qinghui went forward and sat down beside her. He reached out and pulled her into his arms. And you didn't ask me to stay? When did I say I asked you to stay? Isn't it? Su Qinghui looked at her raised eyebrows. When you went upstairs just now, you turned around and looked at me. Didn't you want me to stay? You're thinking too much. I don't think I'm thinking too much. Su Qinghui rarely looked like a rascal. Besides, I really don't want to leave today. He didn't like Wei Ting and couldn't stand him being so arrogant. It was good to have a chance to anger him. Li Qianxue narrowed her eyes at him. Where's Wei Ting? The certainty on Su Qinghui's face disappeared. Can you not mention him? He was really jealous today, especially when Wei Ting took the photo with Li Qianxue. He held it in for a long time and didn't snatch Wei Ting's phone and delete the photo. Are you jealous? Li Qianxue raised her eyebrows, and her well-maintained and exquisite face had an unconcealable charm. Su Qinghui's breathing was a little sluggish. He placed his hand on Li Qianxue's waist. I thought I was very obvious. Is that so? I don't feel anything. Li Qianxue deliberately reached out and gently tapped Su Qinghui's chest. I only remember that year, you told me that if I couldn't stand the loneliness one day, I could go outside and find a man. Qianxue? Was she planning to bring up the past from time to time? Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I really should find a man. What do you think of this idea? Not much. Su Chinghui tightened his grip on her waist, lowered his head, and kissed her on the lips. Qianxue, don't use this to anger me. You don't want to admit it. What had been done in the past was done. There was nothing to deny, and he wouldn't hide it. I just think that no matter how many men you find outside, they're not as good as me. Arrogant. I think this is confidence. That's enough. Li Qianxue stood up. She didn't intend to continue arguing with Su Chinghui like this. It's really getting late. I need to go rest. If there's nothing else, you should go back first. Qianxue, he thought. Don't think about staying. Li Qianxue walked to the bathroom door and turned to look at him. Don't forget, you're still under observation. This year, I want to see your performance. Qianxue, I drank alcohol today. Su Chinghui sat still. You know, drunk driving is illegal. Yes. Li Qianxue nodded. Ask Xiao Ran to pick you up. Qianxue? She didn't have to, right? That's it. You can ask Xiao Ran to pick you up. Or you can call a taxi. Uncle Zhang should agree to this. So, help yourself. Su Chinghui stood up and walked in front of her. When she was about to close the bathroom door, he placed a hand on the door. The Li family has many guest rooms. I don't think there's a need for my room. Su Chinghui. Li Qianxue gently pressed his hand down. Haste makes waste. I don't think you don't even have this little bit of patience. Su Chinghui looked into Li Qianxue's eyes and knew that he had no hope of staying today. He nodded and pushed the door open a little more. The night is long and I can't sleep. I should ask you for some benefits. Su Chinghui, at least I'll feel better tonight. As he spoke, he reached out to hold her waist and lowered his head to kiss her lips. It was summer, and their clothes were very thin. Their bodies melded into one. The kiss was extremely lingering. Su Chinghui tried his best to restrain himself before pulling away. His forehead touched hers. His breath was chaotic and rapid. Qianxue, I really don't want to leave. If you don't leave, don't blame me for ending the observation period early. I'll sentence you to death. She was a person who would do what she said. Su Chinghui knew that she would do what she said. This woman could be really ruthless sometimes. I'm leaving. Rest early. I'll come to see you tomorrow. No need. Li Qianxue shook her head. Qing Sang and Jin Yao won't stay in Lin City for too long. I want to accompany them for the next 2 days, and Miss Nianji. Don't come. Qianxue, they're also my grandson and granddaughter. Therefore, it was reasonable for him to come to see the children. We'll talk about it later. Li Qianxue pushed him out. Now, I need to take a shower and sleep. And you need to leave this place. Su Chinghui watched her mercilessly close the door and smiled bitterly in his heart. How heartless. In the next few days, Su Chinghui didn't listen to Li Qianxue. He still ran to the Li family every day, very diligently. On one hand, he wanted to get back at Li Qianxue, and on the other hand, he felt guilty towards Su Qingsang. He wanted to spend more time with the daughter he had neglected since she was a child. Su Qingsang was already past the age where she needed fatherly love. She wasn't disgusted by Su Chinghui's actions, nor was she touched. However, Su Chinghui and Hua Jinyao had a lot to talk about. After all, their Qianhui company also had a share in the cooperation between Tianyu Group and the Li Corporation. This way, it wouldn't be awkward. Su Chinghui and Hua Jinyao chatted happily. Su Qingsang and Li Qianxue preferred to accompany the 2 children. Su Qingsang's maternity leave had long ended and she had started to work. Therefore, after staying in Lin City for a few days and making sure that Li Qianxue's health was fine, she and Hua Jinyao returned to Rong City. After all, Old Master Hua and Lu Tongjia were very concerned about the twins. They were anxious about not seeing them for a day, let alone taking them away for so many days. After Su Qingsang left, Li Qianxue's hand had almost recovered. She returned to work at the company, but Su Chinghui felt that she didn't care about her health. After failing to stop her, he reduced her workload by more than half. Su Chinghui had been in the Li Corporation for more than 20 years. Although he had left for more than a year, both his human relations and his previous management were still there. There were also many people who gave him face. Therefore, as a special consultant, he would help Li Qianxue deal with some of the business. This way, he was even busier than before. When he was busy, not only did Xiao Ran have to work overtime with him, but even the secretary in the secretary's office had to work overtime with him. Jing Shu had been in the secretary's office for a few days. When the previous secretary finished the handover, she began to slowly get used to it. After the first few days of being in a hurry, she had now figured out the rules and was beginning to be able to keep up with Su Qinghui's pace. That day, Su Qinghui finished dealing with the company and was about to go home when he realized that the lights in the secretary's office were still on. He went forward to take a look and saw that Jing Shu was still working on the documents. "Secretary Jing, why haven't you left yet?" "Huh? It's already done." Jing Shu stood up and hurriedly tidied up the desk. Then, she carried her bag and quickly ran to Su Qinghui. "President Su, you just got off work?" "Yes." Su Qinghui nodded and watched as Jing Shu turned off the lights and locked the door. "But, did the company arrange a lot of work? You haven't finished it even now." "It's not that." Jing Shu shook her head. She seemed to be a little embarrassed and said, "Because I read last year's report and read the information of all the companies that have cooperated with our Qianhui. I was careless and it was too late. I'm sorry." Chapter 747. As he spoke, he had already walked to the elevator. While waiting for the elevator, he looked at Jing Shu. "Did anyone specifically ask you to do it?" Jing Shu shook her head. "I took the initiative to see it. After all, I'm now a part of the company and the secretary of the secretary's office. I have to know more about the company, right?" "Not bad." Su Qinghui liked people with a positive work attitude. It was the same when Su Peijian worked at the Li Corporation. Although she was willful, she would never be careless in business. Now that he looked at Jing Shu, his gaze was more certain. As if encouraged by him, Jing Shu stood up straight, her gaze firm. "President Su, don't worry. I will work hard." Su Qinghui smiled. "Hey, good luck." "I will." Jing Shu looked at the time. It was already past dinner time. "President Su, have you had dinner?" "No." Su Qinghui was going back to the Li family today. He planned to eat there. "Why don't I treat you to dinner?" Jing Shu looked at Su Qinghui with anticipation in her eyes. "I haven't thanked you for not pursuing the matter at the hospital last time. Also, about you hiring me, no need. What happened at the hospital is a small matter. It's not worth mentioning. As for hiring you, it's also because of your ability." And Jing Shu's performance during this period of time in the company also made him believe in his own judgment. "I still have to thank you." Jing Shu bit her lip. She was extra persistent on this matter. "I also have some questions to ask you, so President Su, please give me a chance." "There's really no need." Su Qinghui still wanted to see Li Qianxue as soon as possible. Jing Shu couldn't hide her disappointment, but she still stopped and didn't continue to invite him. The two of them walked out of the elevator together. Su Qinghui's car was parked in the underground parking lot. The driver was already waiting. When the elevator went down, Su Qinghui glanced at Jing Shu. "Isn't Secretary Jing going home?" "My car is over there." As Jing Shu spoke, she suddenly exclaimed, "Look at my memory. My car has been sent for maintenance." Her face was full of embarrassment, as if she was embarrassed that she had forgotten such an important matter. "Seriously, I've been working overtime." Su Qinghui was about to get into the car, but he stopped because of her words. "Where does Secretary Jing live?" "Bright Moon Bay." Mingyue Bay was in the same direction as the Li family. Su Qinghui thought for a moment and said, "Let me take you there." "How can I do that?" "It's all right, it's on the way anyway. Let's go." Su Qinghui got into the car first as he spoke. Jing Shu did not dare to let her boss open the door for her. She opened the door and got in. "President Su, are you going home?" "Yes." Jing Shu nodded. She seemed to have thought of something. "Director Su, are you living alone now?" "Yes." Many people in the company knew about his divorce. Although he was pursuing Li Qianxue now, not many people knew about it. Who usually takes care of you? I'm already an adult, I don't need anyone to take care of me. Su Qinghui hired a part-time cleaner to clean the place where he lived, and he usually took care of the simple things himself. Mr. Su, you've worked too hard, Jing Shu said. Su Qinghui glanced at her and didn't reply. It wasn't hard, but he felt lonely. Ever since he divorced Li Qianxue, he felt lonely every day. He didn't say anything, but Jing Shu wanted to say a few more words to him. By the way, the City Star project was actually designed by our company. Can I go to the construction site next time to take a look? The City Star project was praised by the city last time and was even on the news. Jing Shu used this as a topic, and sure enough, Su Qinghui looked at her. You want to go to the construction site? Yes, can I? Of course. Su Qinghui didn't think that people who worked in the office had to stay in the office all the time. Sometimes, he had to experience it himself. That's great. President Su, you're so nice. Jing Shu smiled brightly. Su Qinghui looked at her smiling face and for a moment he thought he saw his daughter. She turned her face away. Su Peijian was Su Peijian. Just because someone who looked a little like her came in, it didn't mean anything. He didn't continue, and Jing Shu didn't speak either. The car soon stopped at the entrance of Mingyue Bay. Thank you, President Su. Goodbye, President Su. Su Qinghui didn't take this matter to heart. To him, it was just a small interlude. He would give Jing Shu a chance because she looked a little like Su Peijian, and he would let her go further because of her outstanding ability. But that was all. Su Peijian was Su Peijian, and Jing Shu was Jing Shu. He appreciated people who had the ability to work. Li Qianxue's hand was almost healed. As long as she didn't use too much strength to carry heavy objects, under normal circumstances, it didn't matter. However, Su Qinghui was very nervous about her hand and wouldn't let her use her left hand easily. It takes 100 days to recover from an injury. You have to recuperate for 100 days no matter what. Li Qianxue didn't reply. Recently, the Li Corporation had been evaluating the advanced enterprises in the province. This was an opportunity to make the company famous. For this evaluation, the company decided to shoot a few advertisements as promotional videos. The planning department sent a few plans in this area, but she always felt that they were lacking. He saw that she was holding a document in her right hand and was about to pick up a teacup with her left hand. Su Qinghui picked up the teacup and brought it to her mouth. Li Qianxue, whose left hand missed, looked at Su Qinghui. I'll help you. Su Qinghui, you don't have to do this. Li Qianxue had a very strong heart. To her, she really could do these things. I hope you can take good care of your hand. Su Qinghui was very stubborn. He held the cup for a long time and didn't put it down. Li Qianxue couldn't argue with him, so she took a sip of tea with his hand. After drinking it, she realized that this tea tasted a little different from the ones she used to drink. What's this taste? Brown sugar ginger tea. Su Qinghui put down the cup. When he met Li Qianxue's puzzled eyes, he took the initiative to explain. Didn't you say that you had a stomachache when you had your period last month? I asked, and they said that it's good to drink this. Li Qianxue looked at Su Qinghui's face and suddenly didn't know what to say. She paid attention to health, so her body was naturally in good shape. It was just that because she had damaged her vitality when she gave birth to Su Yusin, she had always had a problem of abdominal pain when she had her period for so many years. Last month, it was just 2 days after the cast on her hand was removed. Su Qinghui asked her, and she only said that it was because of her period. She didn't expect him to remember. Although your period won't come until 2 days later, I asked. It seems to be early. Seeing that she didn't speak, Su Qinghui thought that she was unhappy, so he explained again. By the way, I know an old Chinese medicine doctor before. Why don't you ask her to take your pulse next time? No need. Li Qianxue came back to her senses and shook her head. She was in good health and didn't need to see a Chinese medicine doctor. Why not? Dr. Wan is a very good Chinese medicine doctor. He is very good at nursing. I really think you should go and see him. As he spoke, he picked up his watch and glanced at it. There's no time like the present. Let's do it today. Let's go. Let's go to the doctor. Su Chenghui. Li Qianxue looked at the documents in her hand. I still have work. I won't run around even if I don't work for a day. But my body can't be delayed. Su Chenghui got up and pulled her up. Let's go. Li Qianxue was pulled up by him. She could only put down the documents in her hand. But drink this while it's hot first. Su Chenghui brought the ginger tea in front of her again. This time, Li Qianxue drank it cooperatively. She followed behind Su Chenghui and looked at his back. There was a thought in her heart. Su Chenghui was really different. Dr. Wan was an old doctor at the first hospital of the city. He was in his 70s this year. The hospital had originally hired him, but after working for a few years, he chose to return to the community to serve the residents. He was especially good at taking pulses and gynecology. Su Chenghui took Li Qianxue directly to the community where Dr. Wan worked. Coincidentally, there were basically no people today. Dr. Wan took Li Qianxue's pulse and looked at Li Qianxue's face. You're in good health. There's no big problem. Just this. I'll give you a few doses of Chinese medicine. Then he would never make the same mistake again. Yes. I will. Su Chenghui hugged her tightly. He felt a slight, tight pain in his heart. He remembered very clearly what happened when Su Yusen was born. He could only rejoice again that Qianxue was willing to give him a chance. He would definitely cherish this opportunity. He tightened his arms and held her tightly in his arms. Su Chenghui swore in his heart. The advertising plan has been decided. That's it. What do you think? Su Chenghui took the document from Li Qianxue's hand and glanced at it. When he looked up again, there was a smile in his eyes. You've already decided. Why are you asking me? Yes, I've already decided. I'm just asking you to confirm my decision. Then you don't have to ask. Su Chenghui put down the document. You know, I will unconditionally support any decision you make now. Li Qianxue didn't answer him. She took the document back, pressed the internal line, and ordered the planning department and the publicity department to shoot the advertisement as soon as possible. She put down the document and crossed her hands on the table. Speaking of which, you seem to be really free recently. They almost wanted to move their office space to my place. But Qianhui Company is in a slump now, and you can't even pay the rent for the office? Yes. Su Chenghui went along with her joke and said, I wonder if President Li is interested in taking me in? Not interested. Li Qianxue solved a few important company matters at hand and stood up. But I want to go for afternoon tea now. Are you interested? My pleasure. Su Chenghui stood up. I heard that Four Seasons has changed its dessert chef. Let's go. We can go and have a taste. I'm going to Four Seasons. The Li Corporation had shares in the Four Seasons Hotel. Li Qianxue would go and have a look when she was free. The two of them went downstairs and got into the car. Today, Su Chenghui's car was sent for maintenance. The driver was waiting downstairs. The Li Corporation wasn't too far from Four Seasons. After getting into the car, Li Qianxue thought about what else she had to do. When she turned to look at Su Chenghui, she saw a strand of hair on the back seat. A long chestnut hair. She suddenly narrowed her eyes slightly. Li Qianxue's hair was black. She cherished her long hair very much, so she usually didn't dye it or perm it. Chapter 748. What happened? He noticed that Li Qianxue was staring at him. He turned to look at her with a puzzled gaze. Li Qianxue looked at Su Chenghui. She didn't believe that Su Chenghui would do anything to hurt her at this time. Not to mention his behavior during this period of time, in the past few decades, no matter how much he disliked her, he had never gone out to find another woman. He was very strict and self-disciplined. Therefore, the woman couldn't have anything to do with Su Chenghui. However, this strand of hair was left in such a position. It could only mean one thing. Someone was interested in Su Chenghui. It's nothing. I'm just a little hungry. I'll ask Little Chen to drive faster. Su Chenghui didn't notice that there was a long hair behind him. How's your company recently? Li Qianxue withdrew her gaze from the strand of hair and spoke in a seemingly casual manner. Not bad. Su Qinghui's Qianhui Company's main business was investment. When he left the Li Corporation, he decided to choose this one after many considerations. After all, he had so many years of experience and mature clients. We've discussed a few new cooperation projects. By the way, one of them is from Rong City. I'm going there next week. He could also visit Su Peijian on the way. In the end, he was still worried about his daughter. It's good to go to Rong City. I want to go to Rong City too. Although Su Qingsang had just brought her child here, she wanted to go there even more. She couldn't get enough of the soft and fragrant baby in her arms. Why don't we go together? Su Qinghui reached out to hold her hand. Let's take it as a vacation and relax. What do you think? Nothing. Li Qianxue withdrew her hand. She did not forget about that strand of hair. Although I promised you that I would give you a chance, don't push your luck. There was a hint of teasing in her voice. Ever since the ice between the two of them broke, the way they interacted with each other had become much more casual. The two of them weren't young anymore. They wouldn't be so clingy as to stick together or whatever. Even during the day, the two of them were similar to how they used to be. They talked about business and gave some suggestions and ideas for the development of the company. Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui had worked together for many years. Often, they could understand each other's feelings with just a glance. In the past, he had attributed this to a long-term habit, but now, there was something else to it. They felt like an old married couple. I don't think I'm pushing my luck. Su Qinghui moved closer to her. Besides, don't you want to go to Rong City to see Qingsang? Yes. Li Qianxue leaned against the backrest. But I don't want to go with you. Her red lips were slightly parted, her eyebrows and eyes were exquisite, and her every movement carried a temperament that made people unable to shift their eyes away. Su Qinghui once again felt that he had been blind in the past. He couldn't help but hold her hand and kiss it. But I want you to come with me. Then take your time to think about it. Li Qianxue glanced at the strand of hair from the corner of her eye and made a decision in her heart. When Su Qinghui walked out of the conference room, he was told that someone was waiting for him in the reception room. Who is it? Most people would make an appointment in advance if they wanted to come. Xiao Ran stepped forward. Madam is here. As one of Su Qinghui's confidants, Xiao Ran knew very well how much Su Qinghui valued Li Qianxue recently. So as soon as the meeting ended, he quickly told him. Su Qinghui's eyes lit up. During this period of time, he had been going to the Li Corporation every day and almost didn't treat the Li Corporation as his own home. However, Li Qianxue had never come to Qianhui Company to look for him even once. Today, she actually took the initiative to look for him? He was too surprised. With a faint smile on his face, his footsteps quickened. Jing Shu had followed Su Qinghui to the meeting room to take notes. She was about to show the notes in her hand to Su Qinghui when she saw the smile on his face. She was stunned for a moment and subconsciously followed behind Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui seemed to have suddenly thought of something. He turned around and looked at Jing Shu. Make a pot of rose tea and come in. Also, ask Xiao Lin to buy Xiangsong cake. Jing Shu's hand that was holding the meeting notes tightened. Usually, she didn't do the work of pouring tea and serving water. Today, Su Qinghui actually asked her to come? She lowered her eyes and thought about it carefully. She went to the pantry first. Qianxue? Su Qinghui entered the reception room. Li Qianxue sat on the sofa. She was holding a magazine in her hand and was casually flipping through it. When she saw Su Qinghui come in, she looked up at him and smiled. Su Qinghui was captivated by Li Qianxue's smile. She looked a little different today from when she was at work. Her long hair wasn't tied up. Instead, it was casually scattered behind her head. Because of her long-term hairstyle, her hair was a little curly, making her look a little different. She was wearing a classic Hepburn black dress. She had a good figure, and the black color made her look mysterious and noble. When he smiled faintly, Su Qinghui clearly heard his heartbeat speed up uncontrollably. Why you here? He quickly walked forward, his eyes filled with amazement and surprise. What's the matter? Is it about City Star or business? Neither. Can't I come to see you if I have nothing to do? Li Qianxue raised her hand and brushed her long hair. Su Chinghui's breathing stopped. He couldn't help but step forward like a young boy and hug her. He really couldn't help but lower his head to find her lips and give her a deep kiss. Li Qianxue surprisingly didn't push him away. Instead, she hooked her arms around his neck and was very cooperative. Her reaction made Su Chinghui more and more unable to stop. If he didn't have the last bit of self-control and knew where it was, he had no doubt that he would do more to her. Qianxue. He pressed his forehead against hers and looked into her bright eyes. You didn't come to the company to seduce me, did you? Li Qianxue placed one hand on his shoulder and the other on his chest. She gently tapped on it. What if I say yes? You succeeded. Su Chinghui felt thirsty now. You successfully turned me into a young boy. Li Qianxue smiled, as if she was quite satisfied with the effect she had created. She tiptoed and kissed him lightly on the lips. Then what about now? Qianxue. Su Chinghui panted heavily. Don't seduce me. You know, men's self-control is always very poor, especially when it comes to the woman they love. From the moment Li Qianxue agreed to give him a chance, it wasn't that he hadn't thought that the two of them would go further. But he also knew that Li Qianxue needed time. So he had been holding it in during this period of time. But if she continued like this, she couldn't guarantee that she would be able to hold it in. Really? Li Qianxue smiled. All right. I won't tease you anymore. It's my aunt's cousin's birthday tonight. I'm going, so I came to tell you that I can't have dinner with you tonight. Qianxue. So? Su Chinghui looked at her with a slightly depressed expression. You came here specially to say this? Yes. Li Qianxue raised her eyebrows. What else? Qianxue. Su Chinghui lost to her. You really know how to torture me. He knew that one look and one movement from her could make him lose control, but he still came to seduce her. All right. I'm leaving. Li Qianxue was about to leave, but Su Chinghui wrapped his arms around her waist again and lowered his head to kiss her lips heavily. Su Chinghui's voice sounded between her lips. You made me not see you for another night. You have to give me some interest, right? His words were unclear, and it was difficult for her to hear what he was saying clearly. She couldn't help but laugh. Just as she was about to cater to him and give him some sweetness, she heard footsteps outside the door. Su Chinghui, who thought that she hadn't punished herself enough, tightened his arms around her waist. He lowered his head and was about to continue. President Su, the tea you wanted. The door of the reception room was opened. Su Chinghui let go of her hand, and a hint of displeasure appeared in his eyes. Jing Shu didn't expect that she would see such an explosive scene as soon as she entered the room. For a moment, she couldn't even speak smoothly. President Su, the tea you wanted. And snacks. The champagne wasn't far downstairs. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been delivered so quickly. He glanced at Li Qianxue with hidden scrutiny and hostility in his eyes. Leave it. With his subordinates around, Su Chinghui naturally couldn't continue. He stepped back a little, but his hand was still holding Li Qianxue's hand. Have some tea. I asked someone to buy champagne dessert. Come and try it. Li Qianxue nodded and looked at Jing Shu without leaving a trace. The white suit made her look young, and her facial features were vaguely familiar. Most importantly, Li Qianxue narrowed her eyes and looked at the other party's chestnut-colored hair. Chinghui, this is? As she was held by Su Chinghui and sat down again, she seemed to inadvertently glance at Jing Shu. This is Jing Shu, our company's newly hired secretary. Although he didn't understand why Li Qianxue was suddenly interested in Jing Shu, Su Chinghui took another look at Jing Shu. Isn't your secretary that Sister Huang? Sister Huang is unexpectedly pregnant. It's her second child. She went back to give birth. I see. As Li Qianxue spoke, she glanced at Jing Shu again. She had already put down the tray in her hand. She took a step back and stood up straight. She didn't go out. Instead, she stood there and looked at Li Qianxue. With just this glance, she didn't miss the trace of hostility and scrutiny hidden in Jing Shu's eyes. She also didn't miss Jing Shu's intention when she looked at Su Chinghui. She suddenly smiled. Why do I feel that your secretary Jing looks a little familiar? I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. Really? Su Qinghui didn't know what to say. Jing Shu looked a little like Su Peijian. And now, Li Qianxue didn't like Su Peijian very much. Because of what Su Peijian had done to Su Qingsang previously, even if Su Peijian had gone to prison, she still felt that it wasn't enough. Now that Li Qianxue mentioned it, he suddenly didn't know how to answer. People are similar. Maybe I look like someone you know. Jing Shu didn't avoid it. Instead, she stood in front of Li Qianxue and spoke openly. Her voice was very soft, but it couldn't hide the hint of provocation in her expression, even if it was just a flash. But who was Li Qianxue? She suddenly turned her face to look at Su Qinghui and curled the corners of her lips slightly. Qinghui? Yes. The feeling she brought him just now hadn't subsided. Su Qinghui's heart softened a little when she suddenly called him like this. What's wrong? Her. Li Qianxue gently pointed at Jing Shu. I don't like her. Fire her. There was a few seconds of silence in the air. Jing Shu's eyes widened. She couldn't believe that the woman in front of her could use such a tone as if she was talking about the weather. Madam. She took a step forward in exasperation and glared at Li Qianxue. She couldn't hide the displeasure in her eyes. What did you say? I said fire you. If the hair that was accidentally left in Su Qinghui's car was a silent provocation left by this young woman. From the moment she came in until now, all of Jing Shu's actions and reactions were conveying one meaning. She had her eyes on Su Qinghui and was determined to get him. You. Before Jing Shu could say anything, Su Qinghui held Li Qianxue's hand and placed it on his lap. Can I ask why? Li Qianxue had never been an unreasonable person. There's no why. Li Qianxue turned her face to look at him. Her raised eyebrows gave off a matter-of-fact aura. I just don't like you and am unhappy. Su Qinghui. You have to know, as she spoke, her long finger tapped on his chest. Even if a female mosquito appears around you, you have to get my permission. So, what do you think? Her extremely beautiful eyes stared directly at Su Qinghui. She didn't hide her emotions and intentions at all. Jing Shu stood at the side. At this moment, she felt as if her heart was about to stop beating. She couldn't help but look at Su Qinghui. She didn't believe that with Su Qinghui's personality, he would really listen to Li Qianxue. One had to know that Su Qinghui was famous for being easy to talk to in the company. As long as they didn't offend him, he was usually very gentle to people and didn't put on any airs at all. Su Qinghui didn't feel Jing Shu's gaze. He just looked at Li Qianxue. Li Qianxue was willful. He had known this a long time ago. Her family background and her ability gave her the right to be willful. In the past, he didn't like such willfulness. He always felt that it was too domineering and annoying. But today, Li Qianxue used such willfulness on him, and he felt happy. He turned to look at Jing Shu with a calm expression. Did you hear that? Go to the finance department later to settle your salary. I'll ask them to give you an extra month's salary as compensation. President Su. Jing Shu couldn't believe her ears at all. She thought that there was something wrong with her hearing. You really want to fire me? Li Qianxue didn't say anything. She leaned back on the sofa in a relaxed manner and picked up the tea in front of her to take a sip. It tasted good. She was in a good mood. The moment she put down the teacup, she didn't forget to look at her hands. The color of her nails was a little faded. She would choose a time to do it again and also do some hand care. Her expression was calm and she still had time to think about what she was going to do. On the other side, Jing Shu couldn't help but scream. President Su, why? What did I do wrong? Why do you want to fire me? I don't admit that you can't separate public and private affairs. Because, he glanced at Li Qianxue with a smile in his eyes and a gentle look in his eyes. What's mine is Qianxue's. If she is willing, I can even give her Qianhui Company. Since Qianhui Company was hers, it was her freedom to fire a person or not. So, how can there be a distinction between public and private interests? This sentence dumbfounded Jing Shu, and Li Qianxue was also a little surprised. She didn't expect Su Chenghui to say something like that. Su Chenghui pinched her palm and said with a focused expression, "Qianxue, what's mine is yours. Everything I have comes from you. Whether it's my company, my property, or even my life, I can give it to you." Li Qianxue enjoyed his confession when he had the opportunity. The emotional fluctuation that she had felt before had completely disappeared. "It's a deal. It's all mine." She placed her hand on Su Chenghui's chest and said very seriously, "I don't want your life. But your heart can only be mine. If you don't keep it well, I won't be happy." "I will definitely keep it well." Su Chenghui held her hand and kissed it as if there was no one else around. "Believe me. I believe you for the time being. As for the future, of course, it still depended on her performance." She stood up and patted Su Chenghui's shoulder. "All right. I'm leaving. I still want to pick out a gift for Auntie on the way. I'll accompany you." Su Chenghui stood up as well, but Li Qianxue pressed his body back down. "All right. I'm not a little girl who needs you to accompany me every day. You should deal with the matter in front of you first." As she spoke, she glanced at Jing Shu again. Such a disobedient subordinate. "I hope I won't be able to see her the next time I come." "Definitely." Su Chenghui thought that Li Qianxue's actions might have been due to a certain reason. He suddenly smiled. "Next time I recruit people, I'll remember to tell them that it's limited to men." "Okay." Li Qianxue didn't stand on ceremony. It was true that she had promised to give Su Chenghui a chance. It was also true that she was still investigating Su Chenghui. However, she didn't like the opposite sex around Su Chenghui. It was like this in the past, and it was still like this now. Take Sister Huang for example. When she was hired, she was already married. The previous two secretaries also had old husbands. However, her actions had caused Su Chenghui to retaliate. He had even quarreled with her because of this. He said that even if there were no other women, he wouldn't look at her anymore. But even if Su Chenghui said that, she still did what she wanted. Since she could be so willful in the past, now that Su Chenghui had a favor to ask of her, so what if she was willful? Jing Shu was completely at a loss for words. The situation in front of her had greatly exceeded her plan. She had forgotten how to react. She could only stare blankly at the man and woman in front of her. The man was gentle and elegant, while the woman was gorgeous and noble. From the looks of it, the two of them were simply a match made in heaven. However, she felt sour, sad, uncomfortable, and bitter. Seeing that Li Qianxue was about to leave, she didn't know what was wrong with her. She directly stood in front of her. Li Qianxue didn't even have a trace of emotion at this moment. She just stared straight at Jing Shu. "What's the matter?" Jing Shu knew that the most important thing she should do now was to leave. She straightened her back and then, like a proud peacock, she left the man and woman. However, the grievance in her heart made her lose her mind. "President Li, don't you think you've gone too far?" She really couldn't take this lying down. On one hand, she had been crushed and humiliated by Li Qianxue. On the other hand, it was because she couldn't stand such an outcome. During this period of time, if she had only been curious and wanted to conquer him at the beginning, now, she really had a different feeling towards Su Chenghui. She really didn't want to give up just like that. President Li, President Su is a man. He has his career, his vision, and his direction. What right do you have to make decisions for him? What right do you have to come to someone else's company so casually? You can fire President Su's employee just like that? What right do you have to do that? Are you done? Li Qianxue listened to Jing Shu patiently. She tilted her head slightly and stared at Jing Shu's face for a long time. She was not bad-looking. For some reason, she felt a sense of familiarity. She suddenly remembered who the person in front of her looked like. Su Peijian. She had raised her daughter for more than 20 years, but she had raised an ingrate. She looked at Jing Shu and then at Su Chenghui. He stood up and walked over. It was obvious that he was unhappy with Jing Shu's questioning of Li Qianxue. However, Li Qianxue wasn't someone who needed him to stand up for her. She crossed her arms in front of her chest. Even so, she did it elegantly. "Secretary Jing, let me tell you." "Why should I?" Su Qinghui had already walked in front of Jing Shu. She held his hand and let him stand beside her. Why should I? Because he loves me. She was quite direct. She didn't beat around the bush, and she didn't need to feel any more proud. She looked at Jing Shu calmly and exasperatedly. The president Su you speak of. He loves me. Didn't you hear? His company, his property, his life, and most importantly, his heart, are all mine. You, Jing Shu, who had been slapped in the face again, felt humiliated again. Li Qianxue retracted her hand and calmly patted her palm. Most importantly, I've gone too far. What do you want? She had the right to go too far, didn't she? Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue's flamboyant side. Su Qinghui didn't want to say more. You can put up another recruitment advertisement. Or you can see if there are any suitable people among the people who came for the interview. By the way, find me a male secretary this time. Xiao Ran was stunned for a moment. He looked at Su Qinghui, but he seemed to suddenly understand the reason why Jing Shu left. Xiao Ran knew that Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui had been close during this period of time. He didn't expect Li Qianxue to be so jealous that she couldn't even tolerate a female secretary. It really surprised him. Only men. Su Qinghui didn't feel it was a pity. Do it as soon as possible. Her job is to get someone to replace her as soon as possible. Let the people in the secretary's office work harder for the next few days. Yes. I got it. Xiao Ran sighed in his heart. He looked at Su Qinghui and couldn't help but ask, then, don't you consider married women? Su Qinghui shook his head and directly rejected it. No need. Just hire a male secretary. He didn't want Li Qianxue to misunderstand again. That wouldn't be good. Su Qinghui, who didn't want Li Qianxue to misunderstand, couldn't go to the Li family after work today. Because not only Li Qianxue, but old Master Li also went to his cousin's house for dinner. There was no one in the Li family. Su Qinghui returned home and looked at the cold and empty apartment. He felt a little disappointed. There was no wife to accompany him, no children to surround him, and no old Master Li to play chess with him. He could get used to it for more than a year, but recently he felt more and more lonely. After thinking for a while, he couldn't help but send Li Qianxue a message. Have you finished eating? I miss you. He was clearly an old man. But when it came to dating, Su Qinghui realized that he was no different from a young boy. He would want to see Li Qianxue from time to time. He would want to know where she was and what she was doing. He would want to be by her side, even if it was just to watch her and do nothing. There was no reply. Maybe she was eating. Su Qinghui felt a little upset again. He cooked a bowl of noodles for himself. He thought about it. He didn't know how long Li Qianxue planned to test him. How long would it take for him to become an official employee? He only hoped that day wouldn't be too late. It was only a year. It didn't matter. It would be very soon. Chapter 750. The next week, Su Qinghui was busy again. He was going to Rong City, and he had a lot of homework to do before he went. However, he was still very concerned about Li Qianxue. He had to report to the Li Corporation every day, even if it was just to see Li Qianxue and talk to her. After the firing of Jing Shu, he was very sensitive to the fact that Li Qianxue's attitude towards him had also changed subtly. She used to say that she would give him a chance, but in fact, she was just watching. She watched him coldly from the sidelines, watching him show his determination. She only watched him as if she was observing him. However, after the incident with Jing Shu, every time Li Qianxue looked at him, the smile in her eyes became more gentle and intimate. He was delighted with this change. He felt extremely confident that he would be able to persuade Li Qianxue one day. A few days later, Su Qinghui finally went to Rong City. No matter how he persuaded, Li Qianxue refused to go with him. In the end, he had no choice but to go with Xiao Ran. After going to Rong City, he first went to visit old Master Hua. This was what he had to do every time he went to Rong City. As he came to Rong City more often, his relationship with the Hua family became closer. He didn't need to borrow the Hua family's power, nor did he need Hu Jinyao to provide him with any help. This kind of non-utilitarian interaction also made Old Master Hua think highly of him. Every time he saw Su Qinghui, he would pull him to play chess. He would let him live directly at the Hua family's house. Su Qinghui also liked Su Qingsang's twins very much, so he would accompany them whenever he came. After staying at the Hua family's house for a day, Su Qinghui went to do his own things. The company that he was going to talk about this time had some cooperation with Su Qinghui in the past, but it was all small scale, and the impact and benefits were not big. This was the first time the other party had made such a big deal since they developed. Seriously speaking, with Su Qinghui's experience and previous experience, there were many people who wanted to cooperate with him. This time, the other party deliberately put on a show. They said that the decision-maker would come back tomorrow and asked him to wait for a day. Su Qinghui was also an experienced man. How could he not understand the other party's trick? He said on the spot that he happened to have something to deal with and told them not to rush and to take their time. After Su Qinghui left the other party's company, he went to the prison to see Su Peijian. Every time he came to Rong City, Su Qinghui would come to see Su Peijian. However, he didn't expect that Su Peijian wasn't in prison. Su Qinghui was shocked. To him, the 3 children were all his children. He would think of a way to make it up to her. Whether they wanted such compensation or not, he wanted to do it. In the past, Su Qinghui would come to visit Su Peijian, but they never met, so she didn't mind. Now that he saw Su Qinghui, he only felt that new hatred and old hatred had come to his head. She really hated Su Qinghui. Not only did she not treat him nicely, but she also kicked him out. How can you have the face to come here? It's all your fault that our daughter is like this. Su Qinghui, you are a sinner. It's all your fault. It's all you. Get lost. I don't want to see you, and my daughter doesn't need your pity. Su Qinghui, don't come to see Peijian again. Xiang Kaiping was so emotional that Su Qinghui had no choice but to leave. However, he didn't spend too much time with her. After all, Su Peijian's injury was not serious. After 2 days of observation, she was discharged from the hospital and returned to prison. Su Qinghui didn't feel relieved because of this. Instead, he felt even more guilty and blamed himself. Su Peijian hadn't fully recovered from her injuries. Now that she couldn't even get the most basic care, she would have to go back to that very difficult environment. As a father, he had doted on Su Peijian for so many years. How could he not care about her? He was living in the Hua family now. Although it was not to the extent of being criticized, Su Qingsang still had to care about what he was doing. One day, when Su Qinghui came home, he looked a little pale. She asked a few questions with concern. Su Qingsang was a little surprised to know that Su Peijian was injured because she saved someone. She was even more surprised when she found out that Su Peijian was hospitalized in the hospital where she worked. Yesterday, she heard that there was a police officer in the surgical ward. At that time, she didn't understand what was going on, but now she knew. If Su Qinghui wanted Su Peijian to come out earlier, he would definitely tell Su Qingsang about it. He told Su Qingsang his plan. Looking at Su Qingsang, he was a little embarrassed. Qingsang, I also know that Peijian has wronged you in the past. But she has really changed now. She has lost a lot of weight. Her whole person has changed. I was thinking if possible, should we let her come out earlier? Su Qingsang didn't say anything. She didn't have that much conflict with Su Peijian. It was Hu Jinyao who had emotions. Dad, I don't want to stop you or oppose what you want to do. But it's better if you tell Mom. There were some things that she could let go of, but it didn't mean that others could. Just like how Hu Jinyao wouldn't forgive Su Peijian, Li Qianxue probably felt the same way about Su Peijian. With such a premise, if Su Qinghui really had any ideas, it was better to tell Li Qianxue. Qingsang? Su Qinghui didn't think about this. Should he tell Li Qianxue? Before resolving Li Qianxue's attitude, Su Qinghui was more concerned about Su Qingsang's attitude. You really don't mind? It's what Peijian did in the past. I know that she made a big mistake. If you still feel resentful and blame her, then I won't consider it. He had been biased before, but now he couldn't let himself be like that again. If Su Qingsang really didn't understand Su Peijian and felt that she hadn't been punished enough, then he could only do nothing and let Su Peijian stay in prison until she received all the punishment. Su Qingsang was a little surprised by Su Qinghui's words. His attitude was quite rare for her. In the past, Su Qinghui would only stand on Su Peijian's side unconditionally. "Dad, if I'm still angry, are you really going to ignore her?" "Yes." Su Qinghui nodded heavily. Even though he felt sorry for her, he didn't want to hurt Su Qingsang's heart. Although Su Qingsang had been interacting with Su Qinghui more than usual during this period of time, in her eyes, Su Qinghui was still Su Qinghui. Whether he wanted to pursue Li Qianxue or save their relationship, it was all his own business. It had nothing to do with her. She didn't expect Su Qinghui to say such a thing, and a very subtle feeling arose in her heart. She looked into Su Qinghui's eyes very seriously. She knew that what he said was true. If she really minded, Su Qinghui wouldn't have let Su Peijian out earlier. She was already a mother. After being disappointed and desperate for a long time, she actually felt fatherly love for the first time. This feeling was very strange. She thought of the two children sleeping in the small bed upstairs and suddenly shook her head. "Dad, I don't mind. You can do whatever you want." Qingsang. It was one thing to know that Su Qingsang was magnanimous and affectionate, but it was another thing to really know her. Su Qingsang saw Su Qinghui's excitement, and she spoke very seriously. "Dad, I really don't mind, but I'm not sure if Mom minds." Su Qingsang knew that Li Qianxue had promised to give Su Qinghui a chance. It meant that Li Qianxue still had feelings for Su Qinghui. However, Li Qianxue was a very strong-willed person. Some things were her bottom line. Su Qingsang knew this very well after interacting with her during this period of time. "Dad, I think that if you really want to be with Mom in the future, it's better to make some things clear in advance." Su Qinghui nodded. His eyes were deep as he fell into deep thought. How could he make Li Qianxue change her mind and not be angry at him for finding a lawyer for Su Peijian? Li Qianxue had just taken a shower. When she received a video call from Su Qinghui, she looked at her pajamas and answered the call. "Qianxue?" "Yes." Li Qianxue put her phone on the stand of the dressing table and began to do her skincare. "What's wrong?" "I miss you." Su Qinghui's words made Li Qianxue stop applying the toner. She looked at Su Qinghui on the other end of the video call and asked, "What's wrong? Did things not go well at work?" Although he often confessed, she could still hear the trace of fatigue in his voice. Su Qinghui shook his head and looked at Li Qianxue. He knew that Su Peijian's previous behavior had hurt her heart. Otherwise, with Li Qianxue's personality, she would never break off relations with Su Peijian. Li Qianxue wasn't wrong. Su Peijian had already paid the price for her mistake. But after all, she was his daughter. Su Qinghui hoped that she could live a good life. At least she didn't have to work so hard or even have no freedom. Li Qianxue held her chin with one hand and looked at Su Qinghui. "What happened?" Seeing that he didn't speak, she calculated the time and said, "Speaking of which, you've been in Rong City for 4 days, right? What's so troublesome? Didn't you say you'd be back in 3 days?" Li Qianxue could see that the background behind him was the guest room of the Hua family. Su Qinghui was still in the Hua family, so what couldn't he solve? "Qianxue?" Su Qinghui really couldn't open his mouth. He realized that there was too little he could do for Su Peijian. This made him feel very guilty, but this kind of guilt was insignificant compared to the guilt he felt for Li Qianxue. In his heart, no one could be more important than Li Qianxue. If he could, he wished that time could go back. He wouldn't mess around and be so irresponsible again. He wouldn't change the child regardless of the consequences. Even if he changed the child, he should have taught Su Peijian a good lesson. Su Peijian's current situation was caused by him. Every time Su Qinghui thought of this, he couldn't stay calm anymore. He hadn't passed Li Qianxue's observation period yet, and he didn't know how to pass it. But one thing was very clear. Li Qianxue didn't like Su Peijian. She was very disgusted with Su Peijian. He knew this very well. The situation in front of him was to hide it from Li Qianxue. If Li Qianxue found out in the future, she would definitely be unhappy. She was a person who couldn't bear to have sand in her eyes. He believed that Li Qianxue wouldn't care about Su Peijian's affairs, let alone Su Peijian's current situation. Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue, who was not satisfied with his attitude, spoke again. If you have something to say, say it. With their current relationship, it seemed that there was nothing to hide. Well, Su Qinghui was thinking about how to say it. I went to see Peijian 2 days ago. Hearing him say the name of his adopted daughter, Li Qianxue's expression changed. To be honest, she had given her motherly love to Su Peijian. But in the end, Su Peijian's behavior disappointed her. She had wanted to save Su Peijian some face. But in the end, she didn't get what she wanted. Now that Su Qinghui suddenly mentioned Su Peijian, she was in a daze for a moment. The time when she was close to Su Peijian and her mother seemed to be a long time ago. Recently, there was only Su Qingsang, her child, and Su Yusin in her heart. Except for the occasional midnight dreams, she rarely thought about Su Peijian. When Su Qinghui suddenly mentioned Su Peijian, she realized that the disappointment was still there. What happened to her? She tried to control her expression and asked casually. She was injured in the hospital a few days ago. As Su Qinghui spoke, he carefully observed Li Qianxue's reaction on the screen. She was injured while trying to save someone. He explained the situation, mentioned that Su Peijian might get a lighter sentence this time, and said that he wanted to find a lawyer to appeal for Su Peijian again. If possible, he hoped that Su Peijian could be released as soon as possible. This was his guilt towards Su Peijian. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.